Hey,
We're back,
we're
buddy.
back.
Another week, another Snarf.
Yeah, it's exciting. I
is.
feel like we haven't recorded in forever. I feel like I say that every week.
You do say that literally every single week.
If I could record every night of the week, I would.
I would. I don't know if I would do it every single
Night. Yeah, that might be a little too much.
I mean, every night is a little bit of a job. But I would do it at a minimum 5 nights in a 7-day period.
Nice.
I think.
That's exciting. I would do that too.
Yeah. I want it to be my full-time career. I want to quit everything, leave my old life, and just start snarfing around.
Speaking of full-time Snarf employees,
yeah,
we have a guest in the house.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know we have a guest, but what's the full-time employee part?
Well, this particular guest, what was the situation? Well, I'll introduce him first. Our guest is Alex.
Hello.
Hey, Alex.
Hey.
Oh, I should probably turn off the welcome to Snarf Talk thing. Huh?
Yeah,
No,
you
just
always
leave
leave
it
it
up
up
the
too
whole
long. That's all right.
And the winner of the Snarf Madness tournament.
Your bracket.
My bracket.
Your bracket.
Not
I
your bracket.
was dangerously close in yours too.
Yeah, you were really close in
yeah.
mine. But I think the overall winner was
Yeah, they beat me by
the one
a point.
guy and his
Maggie
wife, Maggie,
and Zach, I believe.
and Zach. You remember our listeners better than I do.
I may
and
have
it's his niece.
binged a bunch of Snarf recently too. I only listened to the intro the entire right here.
Wow.
Just on repeat.
Yeah.
Just
What about the outro music?
no. When it's over, I'm ready to hear
You're
your
done.
voice again.
Yeah.
So I brought that up because what was the situation in which I offered you employment?
You asked me to do something, and I said depends if I have to work, and you told me to just quit my job.
Oh, yeah. So, as we'll talk about in a little bit, we
Right.
have the Snarf Talk road trip coming up,
We do have the
which is
Snarf Talk road trip
officially
coming up.
on September 1st.
Sunday, September 1st. We will probably leave at like 7 in the morning, I would assume.
Yeah, we're trying to determine right now whether...
Yep. It has to be because we've got 2.5 hours of car ride.
Yeah.
And it opens at 9, I believe, right? Don't gates open at 9?
Yes.
And if they open at 9 o'clock, we want to be there at 9 o'clock to get right in.
Yeah, 9 or 10. I can't remember. Something like that.
Yeah. Either way, I remember the last time we left early.
Yeah, so we got that coming up, and he said he went, oh, no, it was the Kevin Smith. It was the Snarf Talk road trip to the premiere for Jay and Silent Bob
yeah, I
Boots,
screwed you on that.
which Alex was going with us on that Snarf Talk road trip. That's a small Snarf Talk road trip because we only got 3 tickets. So anyway, he had some work
we need to find-
obligations. He wasn't able to go, and I just told him to quit his job. And he said, I will
Easy.
quit my job if you can pay me my salary that I make now. I told him 100% that I will.
Yeah, 100%.
But his job would be to figure out a way to come up with all of the money to pay that salary.
Oh, okay. So we have to have what is called, what's that called? An income?
Yeah.
Some
but
sort
that would
of
be his job.
Revenue stream?
To generate the revenue to pay himself. It's a
Oh,
100% commission gig.
But is in any way does this money come back to Snarf to promote the show?
Well, I mean,
It's all YouTube ads. That's all it's going to be.
Oh, okay.
hopefully he would make more than his salary.
Every half second YouTube
yeah,
ad.
we're gonna have a 2 hour and
I think we
15
need a
minute
corporate
show.
sponsor. That's what we need.
I know. I really
Like
want to.
Casper Mattress. If we just start
Nike.
advertising for Casper Mattress, do you think they'll just eventually
Maybe.
be like, hey, these guys have been giving us like 6 months of free
I mean,
advertising?
problem is I don't have a Casper mattress whatsoever.
Not yet.
Right. That's a good point.
You know who you guys should talk
Not
to?
yet.
Have you heard of the You Betcha guy?
You betcha.
The Bush Light guy?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he single-handedly got the Bush lattes made.
I'm pretty sure that guy probably makes millions of dollars a year.
You think he
from
does
Iowa.
now? He
Or
is from
some
Iowa.
small...
No, he is from
Midwestern.
Iowa because Iowa was running the whole Bush Latte thing, like in the state before it went anywhere else. And
Except Illinois.
Yeah, we can't
Yes.
get him here.
We suck.
we can't get the.
No,
Why?
just Bush Light here.
Oh man.
I work with a guy who vacationed down in Lake of the Ozarks not too long ago.
Oh, you betcha.
Yo, you betcha, yeah. And
Why are you doing a Minnesota accent?
I don't know
for
because that's
Lake of the Ozarks.
because that's the guy.
that's
he-
the you betcha.
His channel is You Betcha.
I'm thinking of a totally wrong guy. I'm thinking of the guy that walks around with the mullet and the sweater and is always like, oh, psst, psst.
Oh, no, that's Billy Bassmaster.
Ed Bassmaster.
Or Ed, yeah, Billy. Yeah, that's Ed Bassmaster.
Well, and anyway.
He also does the, what is it? The one. No. Oh, would you look at that?
Yeah.
Oh, would you look at that?
Yeah.
And I said, would you look at that?
Yeah.
That guy.
So anyway, once he accepts that position, he will be our first official Snarf Comics, because he's going to be.
Wait,
for the
have
entire...
we went through Michael on this? Hang on, Michael. Yes, he's for it. He's 100% for it.
But he's a Snarf Talk employee. That's why I was including him.
Oh, we're talking Snarf Comics.
Yeah, the overarching brand. He's going to be like the not the CEO.
No,
yeah, I mean, sure.
How could he be?
We're their owners, but he's the CEO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, so I got to do all the work while you guys just go F off.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's the whole point.
I mean, if you want to be paid.
Have you ever heard of a corporation before?
Yeah, yeah.
So
that sounds great.
Let's give our listeners a little deep dive into the world of Alex.
Of Alex.
Oh, I eat, work, and sleep. That's pretty much the extent of my life.
Listen to Snarf.
And listen. Well, I listen to Snarf while I work.
Nice.
How did you get turned on to the podcast? Because you were a late comer, weren't you? Or have you been listening from the beginning?
See, the dirty mind in me is just latched right onto that comment.
Picked up on it. Picked up on it. Real quick.
No, Chris. I think I got into it because you're married to my wife's cousin.
Well, obviously.
And you and I have pretty much since day one that we met each other have clicked.
That's very true. We've bonded, if you will.
So does that mean you started listening when we started the podcast, or does that mean you started?
I did not, because you guys were late to Stitcher. And I'm not an Apple guy, so I didn't have Apple iTunes or any of that.
We were right on Stitcher.
We were in Stitcher right
Well, I
off
couldn't
the
find
bat.
you. Or maybe it's because I don't know if
that's Michael's fault.
That's straight up Michael's fault. He's the producer.
Damn you, Michael.
And yeah, but I feel like Stitcher was one of the first ones that we were on with. There was like a group of them. There was like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify.
No, you're right. Stitcher was later.
We did get on Stitcher later because I remember I was out for dinner with David and Cassie and Tim and Rayanne, and you were signing up for Stitcher while I was
built
at
a whole
big,
website.
huge, fancy restaurant, not paying attention to anything, and I was making Chris do the work.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
Well, it is his podcast. Well, no, you're the boss according to Cash. So
I am.
He works for you, so that makes sense.
Right. And that was before Michael, though.
Right.
That was early days.
Oh yeah, that was back in the good old beginnings.
How's he feeling? Does he still have strep, or is it something worse now?
Bad strep.
Yeah, it's gotten worse.
Real bad strep. His tongue swelled up real bad.
Oh my God,
it's real bad.
So Alex, back on topic. We always ask our guests this. So we obviously are obsessed with most nerd culture things.
Oh yeah.
I know you're very, very, very much in the same vein as that. So
I am.
What was your introduction into that world, as a child or a teenager? What was your thing?
I would kind of attribute it to, so my uncle worked swing shift as well, but he for some reason always had Thursdays off, and Thursdays were donut Thursdays. My uncle would show up with donuts and usually an action figure.
Oh, that's
for
awesome.
me. So I used to have this giant, just plethora of X-Men action figures.
Not many people had X-Men action figures, I feel like.
I certainly did not.
I don't think I had one.
I had a ton of them.
I didn't even know that they made them.
Tons of them.
You didn't know
that based off the animated show from the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Which I know you guys talked about my sleeve previously, but that's originally what my arm was supposed to be.
Yeah, his tattoo.
So
remember I was telling you about
the
his
Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah. All
right.
Oh, I didn't realize that this was the guy with the Ghostbusters.
It's that Alex.
I'm switching to you full cam. You guys show them off.
Okay. Yeah, look at that. There's.
So you got them all.
My gosh.
They're all there.
All right, I'm gonna go mobile cam.
No.
Those are really good.
Pardon the hair.
Look at that.
Look at Peter Venkman right up there.
Got the trap, some streams. Librarian, Stay Puft,
Oh my gosh.
David Bowie. That's who I always think that Zool looks like is David Bowie.
It does. It does.
It's straight out of a David
That's
Bowie
really
music
cool.
video.
That was way cooler than you explained it, Chris. Chris was kind of like nonchalant, like, I don't like tattoos. Those are really cool.
When did I say that?
I don't know. I'm just making that up.
I think he was just making fun of yours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he gets to call me a sexist like every podcast.
No,
Can't I just make fun of him one time?
It'll happen. Now, see, you ruined it because you moved the camera, didn't you?
I know. I got it back.
Yeah, we're good.
So, X-Men, that was your big thing? Just the action figures, or like was there any shows or cartoons or movies you're really into?
I watched the TV series, the animated series, religiously. Like, and that's originally what my sleeve was supposed to be, was the X-Men animated series.
I feel like that would have been amazing. I mean, I like Ghostbusters. That would have been amazing, but you have a whole other arm.
I do, but
you do.
the guy who did this arm, like, he looked for weeks trying to find templates, like what he was going to use to put it on my arm. He's like, I can't find anything that's
Well, he just
decent.
needs to draw one.
I mean, freehand it, bro.
Hey,
Come on.
I have seen him freehand some shit.
We're
and
going to
it's
Wizard
great.
World, and I guarantee you would find an artist that can do a template for tattoos. No problem.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Any comic book artist could do it.
Oh, yeah. Could make a template. Yeah.
But then I debated on like the entire, like every Batman character that was ever in a TV show.
That sounds amazing as
Like
well.
Caesar
Oh my
Romano,
gosh.
like going all the way back to Adam West, and just do it like transitioning year to year. I was even going to put like Jim Carrey and
I think I might like that better.
all them on there.
You know, to
Val
be
Kilmer
honest,
and George Clooney, they were both going to be on there.
and I don't mind. I don't mind Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
No, me neither.
I thought it was just fine.
Did Chris ever tell you how I was originally going to talk to you on the podcast?
Like attack me?
Yeah, I was just going to start off with Batman's the worst comic book hero ever.
Oh my
And
God.
just
I'd be like, well, this podcast is over.
I was going to try to do it the whole episode, and then the final episode be like, yeah, Batman's my favorite too.
And then you would have just had video of me getting angrier and angrier.
So I was on top of my grain
That's
leg
funny.
today taking down a motor, which was really fun because I hooked it to a rope onto a pulley and then all the way down onto my pickup truck
Oh, that's
and
good.
then backed it up and
Yeah.
just drop it down. Anyway, when I was up there, the guy that works for me was up there with me. He's like, we got to redo that star. I'm like, actually, the star's coming down. There's going to be a gigantic bat signal up here
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
with lights on it. And
That's gonna
he's
be
like,
so great.
Well, that's pretty amazing. So,
Really?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were into it?
oh, yeah.
Good.
So
They should be.
Anyway, tattoos aside, X-Men animated series. Were you a Star Wars guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I'm not a Trekkie.
No.
I've never,
not.
I've seen the two.
We really
With-
aren't here.
with
I
Chris-
feel like you're the closest to being a Trekkie out of
And
all of
that's
us.
not very close.
Because I just really have not really watched any of it besides Next Generation, which really isn't even considered like some of the best Star Trek, right? Like that's not what people would refer back to.
Yeah, that's like, I would say a lot of people consider that the best.
They do?
That or the original.
That's
like
what I
series.
thought. It was like the original stuff.
No, that's like Patrick Stewart, Star Trek. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was way up there.
Jean-Luc
Oh.
Picard.
Yeah.
That's all.
Picard.
I know.
And they're making
That's
a
all I
movie.
know.
Oh, that one looks pretty good. I think I will watch that.
Is that a movie or a series?
I think it's a series.
It's a series.
Yeah,
Okay.
on Stars.
No, it's on CBS, right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Just like the other Star Trek show, Discovery.
That's
I think
right.
CBS like owns the rights or something.
Maybe they do. I don't know, but that looked pretty good to me, and I think it's like more nostalgic than anything because I remember watching it as a kid. Or what I remember is flipping through the channels and it just showing up all the time,
It was on all the time.
and I was like, all right, I guess I'll watch this. You know, well,
You didn't
Hercules,
like
Hercules with Kevin Sorbo's over, so I guess I'll watch this Star Trek.
Man, I love that show. That and Xena.
What? No, that's what I was just gonna say. What? No Xena today? All right, guess I'll watch Picard.
Why don't they? Man, why don't they make those shows anymore? Like shows like that.
They were so good.
Yeah.
I always remember in the Hercules show Kevin Sorbo fighting this. It's not maybe a Minotaur. A Minotaur is the one with the bull
Yes.
head and stuff.
Yeah.
which is in our IKEA comic book.
Oh yeah,
story.
we have a comic book story that has a Minotaur in it.
Yeah, and he's. I don't want to give it away, but it's so funny. Should I just talk about it? And say
We haven't
copyright?
talked about it before.
I don't think so.
No, you haven't.
Okay, copyright, big
Copyright,
because this
big
is
time.
like one that
I don't
is
want
actively on our radar for development.
And I really do love this story, but so the whole idea, well, gosh, I feel really weird to talk about the whole idea of it.
No, I'll talk about it.
Okay.
The idea is we're gonna do.
It's like the 7 layers of hell.
Yeah, it's Dante's Inferno, right? So it's the classic. Is that a Greek? Poem
Greek.
or something? So there's the 7 layers of hell, but in our story, it's IKEA.
The 7 layers of IKEA hell.
It's this guy that's going to IKEA with his girlfriend, but his girlfriend gets like abducted
Right off the bat.
and so he's got to go through each level of IKEA like it's a different level of hell.
And it's based off of the right like levels, like gluttony,
Yeah, it's
anger.
based off of the Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
But it's all IKEA.
But he's in IKEA, but it's hell.
And
It's like an IKEA hellscape. Like once he goes into the IKEA, it transforms into a hellscape of IKEA.
Yep. As soon as they give him a pamphlet right away to like explain the IKEA hell that he's going to be put through, and he has to follow the path, like the IKEA path. And I just never forget it about the Minotaur part of it. And he gets to the level, and it's like anger. And the Minotaur's flipping out, like attacking him right away. And then finally he figures out he's so mad because he's been trying to put this futon together and he can't understand the directions. And he started like blaming him because it was like the only white guy around. And he's like, you're obviously at fault for these. And he throws the directions at him. And he's trying to so he just sits there and puts the futon together. And like he solves that level because now he's not mad because his futon's together. I think it's freaking hilarious.
It's a comedy book.
Yeah,
I mean, you could do that to any.
and there's a Swedish
Yeah.
meatball monster
Oh yeah.
for the gluttony part.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Is that like the shit monster from Dogma?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's not even close to being finished. We basically just have an outline for it.
Yeah, we have
but-
a rough outline.
Yeah, but it's
But we
something
found because we want it to be more like cartoony style.
Yeah.
Not like realistic looking and we found some cool artists for it at some of the cons, so I think we got a pretty good idea on what the art style will be. I think it'll be a cool one.
So
There's
What were
so
we
many.
calling it? We had a name for the book.
I mean, I could look it up because I've got the.
Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. You guys will have to be shocked. That'll be our next comic coming out after
Yep,
Jetpack Samurai.
probably in September.
well, where is JPS? Like, what the hell?
Let me
It's
tell you.
there.
It's a long
It's
road.
still there.
It's almost done.
Because I've been waiting
just
for more information since
It's
like
just sitting there, you know.
episode 5 or whatever. It was early.
Yeah.
It's been a long time ago.
We should probably change the intro about how this is a show about writing that book.
That would be a good idea. It's like the long journey of just writing that book,
Yeah.
but never talking about writing that book.
And never finishing it. No, we got like 10 pages left. Not even to write.
I think it's less than that.
Do you guys have an artist?
No.
There's
we,
that one
actually,
guy.
that we do kind of have an artist.
There's that one guy from DeKalb, and he's been doing a lot on Instagram
Yeah,
lately.
he's
Have
a
you seen him?
colorist. He's not an artist.
He's just a colorist.
No, but we have an artist, and there was a guy out of Brazil that I talked to. I think it was Brazil. Super cool guy.
Okay.
He was into it. So we have a pretty good handle on that. It's just
Oh, I remember
finishing
him now.
the script and getting it all.
I was getting
wrapped
him
up.
and the guy in DeKalb.
We're going to go to Wizard Con. We'll probably talk about that later.
Wizard
this
World coming up.
weekend, and that'll give us super inspiration.
It will. It always does.
Yeah.
Every single time. It's weird when you get around other creators in the mindset, and then you see people doing the thing you talk about all the time.
Oh, I'd believe
Instead of just talking about it, you're like, what the heck? This guy's
doing it.
has a job. He commutes every day to Chicago. He writes on the train and on his iPad real quick, and then he goes to work and he writes during lunch. And dang, they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like people are doing things like that because they're better than me. That's all I can think. Honestly, that's the way I feel about it. They're just better than me, and I need to not be lazy.
Yeah, we'll get it.
How long of a commute do you have?
35 minutes.
Yeah,
but I
you're
drive.
driving, so it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to, unless you're like,
You
get
know,
one of
I
those
should
clicker,
get.
just
I should get
take
like a
this down.
dictation thing.
Yeah, you should
and
dictate.
just dictate it all, and then have you type.
You
it.
should get a Talk Boy. I got one actually. You can borrow it.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, from Home Alone. like the talk boy with the little microphone.
Oh, yeah. You have one of those?
I got one in my house, my old one from when I was a kid.
No
And
way.
I got it out for cash to play with. And I even like had to locate tapes. So I had to buy tapes on Amazon, like a 5-pack of blank tapes.
Amazon still had them?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You didn't have to eBay
Amazon's
that?
got everything.
They really do.
I know. They're not Walmart. You can't say that.
I bet they have them at Walmart.
No.
I bet you they have tapes if you go in the
For
electronics
a
section.
Talk Boy circa
They're just regular
1999.
cassette tapes.
Oh, they are?
I
Like
thought
a normal?
I thought the Talk Boy had the mini ones.
The one I have is the one from Home Alone that like came out when that movie came out. And it uses full-size tapes, and then remember you can speed it up and slow it down.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
pretty awesome.
And it still works.
No.
But you can use it.
You never let me finish the story.
Okay.
So I found the Talk Boy. I got it. All figured out. I got the tapes.
Yeah.
Put the tape in. Didn't work. So now I'm literally going to take it apart and figure out what's wrong with the circuit board and resolder it or do whatever I need to do to fix it. How often can you get a vintage Talk Boy?
Never. Like I didn't even realize that they were still around. But then again, I completely forgot they existed to begin with.
The only reason it's still around is because it's been sitting in my mom's attic since the 1980s.
That's crazy. That's awesome that she's kept all that stuff.
Yeah.
She probably gave it to him in a box. I'm like, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what my parents do to me.
That's really nice of her because I don't think I would have even done that. I would have been like, this is junk. I'm going to throw this away.
Yeah. No, my mom kept all my toys. The Turtle Van, all the Teenage
I know.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, the big G.I. Joe. Remember we were talking to one of your buddies that buys G.I. Joe toys and reconditions them, and then he sets them up in his house?
Yeah, he's a cop.
Yeah.
His wife...
the pictures he was showing us are unbelievable.
Yeah, his wife worked with Amy at the hospital. She still works at the hospital, just works in a different department. But they're really awesome people. And I didn't realize he did all of that or had all of that stuff until we saw him, just happened to run into him at Comic-Con.
At C2E2.
C2E2, yeah. And I had no idea that he did all that. And he coaches baseball, too. And that's when I was around him quite a bit. And never said a word about it, you know. And then you run into somebody at C2E2, and then you find out. That's the weird part about this type of culture, like this geek, nerdy culture, is that a lot of people don't want to bring it up. You know, you don't just walk around somewhere and be like, hey, I collect every G.I. Joe you could ever imagine.
Right.
Like, like, what do you say after that? Okay. You know, and it's the same thing with comic books or anything. Like, nobody brings it up because it's not. I don't want to say it's not socially acceptable, but it's not really socially acceptable to just bring that up in conversation because people think it's weird. And we're out as a team to change that.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
And you can be a part of that.
You are a part of it now.
Yeah.
Regardless if you want.
I don't collect or do anything, but
now you're a part.
It doesn't bother me at all. You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
just
thing that I don't.
But it's like talking about like baseball or talking about movies or
College football,
yeah, or anything really. Like that is normal. But if you just came up to somebody and been like, "Well, I've collected every trade of Batman,"
No, it's just a different type of nerd.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's all the same.
Like, I work with a guy. He doesn't he rarely watches TV, movies, anything like that. Like, you ask him the last movie he actually just went and saw Spider-Man. But before that, the last movie he saw in theaters was Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
In theaters.
You know what's so weird is my brother-in-law's parents don't ever go to the movies. And I was talking to him about some movie the other day, and they're like, the last movie we saw in theaters, Forrest Gump.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird that it was the same movie.
And that is really strange. But it's weirder to me that they just don't ever go to the movies.
I guess everybody
ever.
just went to see Forrest Gump.
I mean, that's why it won the Academy Award for Best Picture.
Yeah. Gary
know?
Sinise.
He's a good man. Met him once.
I have Tom Hanks.
That's right.
I did.
In my Avengers.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
1999.
Yeah.
Do you have that with you?
Oh, it's right here.
Let's read that.
So Alex wanted to update us on his choices for 90s Avengers. This really struck a chord because Tim also did it, right?
He did. Yeah, it's people want their choices out there.
So you want me to just go rapid fire?
Yeah,
because I went a little like I nerded out.
Okay.
And went literally every Avengers person that I could come up with.
Perfect.
Yeah, go for it.
Like all the villains.
I
and
see
stuff.
your paperwork.
It's
there.
big.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Like I said, I did binge a lot of Snarf because I work at a factory, but I also clean. I'm a janitor for Financial Plus.
Okay.
So I have a lot of free time. So, so my Iron Man was Tom Cruise. He's not my cap.
Oh well.
Wow.
My cap, because I feel like Captain America is younger than Iron Man.
Okay.
Is Ben Affleck
From the 90s?
90s.
He was 30.
I'm good with that.
Again, this is circa 1999.
Okay,
that's when I went. Because I would have been 10.
So 99.
I'm 30.
99 Ben Affleck is Dogma.
I'm not old like you, Chris.
Dogma. But he might be a little young for a cap, but I'll give it to you.
Well, I also did that because I felt like Matt Damon would have made the perfect Winter Soldier. They could play off each other.
Yeah, he would have.
He would have been good at that. He's good at everything.
He needs dark hair, though.
They make hair dye.
Have you ever heard of Hollywood?
No. What's that?
All right, so rapid fire. Thor, Brad Pitt, Hulk, Brendan Fraser.
Oh, I did. Thor was my... Brad Pitt was my Thor, too.
Thor was my Brad Pitt.
What? No, you don't have to go that rapid fire because I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Hulk, Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
Ooh,
Because I feel
like that.
we
picked Brendan Fraser
for something. He was in there
Star-Lord?
for something.
Maybe Star-Lord.
Maybe.
So
I don't remember.
I feel like you're not even casting for Hulk. You're casting for Bruce Banner.
You are
Right,
casting
that's right.
for Bruce Banner.
And
You're
you
right.
need someone semi nerdy.
You know who I would have picked? I should have picked Lou Ferrigno. That's who I should have picked.
What are you talking about?
That's so funny.
So I kind of went a little out of the box. Black Widow, Halle Berry, because she was big then. Okay, Black Panther.
Was she big in the 90s?
Yeah, and this is the one. This one that I have made me really frustrated that neither of you came up with him.
What's that?
Will Smith, Black Panther. I don't know how you guys beat around the bush with that.
Yeah, he would have been good. That was like prime
Fresh
time.
Prince Will Smith.
No, it was like Independence Day Will Smith.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'd be really good at that.
Yeah.
Could he do an African accent, though?
he was in Ali.
Did he do
Did he have an African accent?
I'm pretty sure he tried it. I don't
No,
know.
I don't think Muhammad Ali was American.
He was. What's that? That was awesome.
Yeah, but it was the Rumble in the Jungle.
Well, yeah. That's
So-
but
true.
that had nothing to do with
He
it.
threw a weird
Two-
accent into Ali.
Two
So
Americans fought in Africa.
I'm aware.
Okay, I'm just
I
making
know
sure.
I know I'm young, but I understand.
That's funny.
Did you know that his real name isn't Muhammad Ali?
Cassius Clay.
Yeah. Okay.
Gosh, Chris, come on. It's
I picked
common knowledge.
Keanu to be Doctor Strange.
He could do it.
I think he could definitely do it.
Yeah.
Even-
And I also, that's a callback to a later episode where you guys talked about who would be the best Constantine, and you guys said Keanu. Did you guys completely forget that he
No,
did Constantine?
no,
or-
no. I think I said it in the episode.
Yeah.
Like, that movie's amazing, and I don't feel like I would change it.
And is now on the DC Universe app.
The movie is?
Yeah.
I turned that
didn't know
movie on. Like, I actually have it on my DVR at home. Like,
Love it.
I'll turn it on and it's
It's
just like
so good. It was like way ahead of its time.
For
Continue.
it wouldn't float now though because he's chain smoking and
Yeah,
both.
I know.
Well.
Nothing floats now.
Did he on the TV show? I never watched the Constantine TV show.
I don't know. I never watched it either.
Okay, so Spider-Man, I was kind of I wasn't sure. I went Orlando Bloom / Elijah Wood because I feel like both of them look very young then.
Yeah, Elijah Wood.
Elijah
definitely
Wood would be the better choice.
I
then.
think
I think
so,
that was
too.
when like North came out. So you guys remember that movie?
No.
No.
He gets like lost.
Mm-mm.
No, he's got to
does
like hitchhike home.
But I mean,
Doesn't have a
the
compass.
first Lord of the Rings movie was in the 90s, right? Late 90s?
Holy cow!
2001.
I have no idea.
2001, maybe?
Yeah,
think
you know
so.
what?
I
Yeah,
think
that
it's
sounds about right.
2001. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. What else you got?
Harrison Ford, Fury, Hawkeye, Nick Cage. That one was just kind of like
Somebody else
he
said-
had to be.
I
Nick
think I
Cage.
did.
Yeah.
I think that's what
And I said
put.
Harrison Ford for Nick
Because
Fury,
I know
too.
I had Nick Cage in there.
Vision, Ewan McGregor.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I feel like the voices are almost similar.
They are.
Scarlet Witch, Gwyneth Paltrow. Some of them again, I just kind of like was like 90 star.
But she's Penny.
Not anymore.
Okay.
War Machine,
Pepper.
Samuel L.
Pepper,
Jackson.
yeah,
How
sorry.
do you not just transfer him over to a younger role?
He could do it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ant-Man, Johnny Depp, Captain Marvel, Cameron Diaz, Nebula, Juliette Lewis. That was a deep pull for her.
But Juliette Lewis,
I don't know.
we're not a big fan of Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis.
And it's been on a few podcasts where we're just we're not fans of hers.
Gamora, Leo DiCaprio.
Gamora?
Or no, wait. That's Eva Mendes. Sorry. Read two different lines.
Okay. Eva Mendes could do that. That's a good pull.
Star-Lord, DiCaprio.
Leo. He's super young, though. That's a different take.
In
I
99,
would
though?
take it. In the comic books, he does have blonde hair.
I don't know how old he'd be in 99. When was he on that show? Growing Pains.
Titanic
That was
came
like
out,
early.
Titanic came out in 95, I think.
Oh, okay. So he's old enough.
Drax, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh no, he's way too small for that.
He is. But at the time, he's even smaller than what he is now because he was like Marky Mark then.
Yeah,
Now he's like,
That's
I
right.
work out, Mark.
I work out.
He's yeah.
So these next two might have been my favorite because it was all CGI, so I could pick any voice. I wanted Danny DeVito to be the voice of Rocket,
I think I said that.
I like that. Did you?
I think I said that.
and
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson to be the voice of Groot
There you go.
because it would just make me laugh.
I am Groot.
I'm gonna skip some of these
That's pretty good.
because some of these are just kind of like I threw them in there. Tom Hanks, Happy.
Oh yeah. Okay. For some
yeah.
reason, I was thinking of the Grant Morrison Happy.
John Favreau.
I know. I did too. As soon as it came up in my head, I was thinking about a donkey. And, I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah. He'd be good at that. He's very John Favreau-esque.
He is.
And then to play off some of the ones you guys said. So one of you guys said John Malkovich somewhere in there.
You did for something, or
I think you did.
no, I did. I definitely didn't. I don't think.
I feel like he'd be a great Red Skull.
Oh, he would.
He would be a great Red Skull.
Yeah.
He could do that.
And Obadiah Stone, Bruce Willis.
Huh.
So Iron Man 1.
Didn't we have Bruce Willis in there? I think
yeah.
I did.
Yeah, we all did for something.
And Arnold would have been Ivan. Fanko.
Oh, is
Just-
that
Mickey Rourke.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just not a big.
Whiplash.
I
right?
like Arnold Schwarzenegger as Terminator. Other than that,
And the Last Action Hero.
I was literally just gonna
and
say
Running
that.
Man.
Everybody hated Last Action Hero, but I loved it as a kid.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, it's like widely
I love that
hated.
movie.
It's a terrible movie according to basically everyone that saw it except for me
I've
And
never
me.
seen it.
and you now.
So it's clearly not
But
that good.
I had all of the toys. I had the convertible car and Arnold Schwarzenegger and the kid, and it came with a jump. I think with some barrels you could get and jump the car and stuff. I absolutely loved it. Anyway, go continue.
I'm going to skip the rest of them because the more I read them, it was thrown together. But the one that I really liked, Yondu, Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I think
wow, I
that
do
would've
like
been
that a lot too.
fantastic.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That would be good. And that would be post Genie.
Oh, yeah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah, because I was like 94.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it.
That's
a good
pretty
one.
good. That is pretty good.
But enough of that.
I think you're pushing the 2000s a little hard on some of them.
I said circa 1999, man. I was 10 then.
Pushing the Y2K era. Okay.
Hey, it's a big deal for my, me.
Yeah, I know. But Y2K was a big deal for everyone.
yeah.
We're
man.
almost 20 years
That was
later.
the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then I remember waking up the next morning and asking my dad, like, did anything change?
Yeah.
He's like, nope.
Dad, am I alive?
Are we
He
alive?
just smacked you on the head.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Weasel. He always calls me a weasel. Still does. I don't
That's
know
really-
why I talked about him past tense.
It's really funny that he calls you Weasel and you have a mink problem.
Ooh.
That is kind of funny. We haven't had a mink problem in a while.
I still have a skunk. So your mink problem became my skunk problem.
I can smell them out there.
Yes, you can, because
Yeah.
there's 3 of them living in that little shed right next to my office, and I can't trap them for the life of me.
Just burn the whole thing down.
I'm thinking about it.
collect the
There's
insurance
nothing in there
money.
worth anything. So.
Yeah.
Oh, now I can't do that.
Oh,
Now that
the
you
insurance
said it,
company won't watch this.
You're going to have to delete this whole episode. We're going to have
Just
to
that
start
segment.
over.
Editing. They'll never know.
So, this time of the show is, you got some news? You got some news.
I got a couple, just very small tidbits
Snippets.
of news. So the first one came out today, I believe it was, either today or yesterday. Kevin Smith released what they were working on.
Oh, he did? I didn't know it. I haven't heard it.
Oh, really?
What is it?
So this is new news to you.
This is big news for me.
Uh-oh.
All
right.
Uh-oh.
So the story here is that Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin, they do a podcast together called Fat Man Beyond. Now, it used to be Fat Man on Batman back when it was good.
Yeah.
Throwing blows.
I really enjoy it now.
I do.
I like it. I liked it both ways. I actually enjoy it more now as a show, but I did love the deep dives with the creatives.
That's basically all I wanted out of it was the creative deep dives. Like, he had so many good people on there.
He had some amazing episodes.
And he was doing interviews with people that I wanted.
Paul Dini on there?
Yes,
Wasn't
twice.
Bruce Timm was on there?
Grant Morrison was on
Grant
twice.
Morrison, yeah.
Scott Snyder was on once.
Yeah.
Like, he had huge names that were coming in, and they were awesome to hear.
God, I don't think I ever listened to the Scott Snyder episode.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
You've
I did?
listened to all of them.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I know for a fact you've heard it. Anyway, so they had been talking on their show recently about a show that they're working on together, and it turns out that Kevin Smith is the showrunner.
Okay.
And so he got to pick, who the writers were. Mark Bernardin's one of the writers, and it is a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Called Masters of the Universe.
Oh, I saw that on the podcast as a title.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the show they were doing.
So the podcast title is just the release.
Okay.
It's the release that they did at WonderCon or SuperCon or something like that. But yeah, it's Masters of the Universe. But I believe, if I read it correctly, and I need to go look it up again to make sure I was 100% accurate, it's an anime show.
Oh, really? Anime? Like not animated, but anime.
Anime is what I had read.
What exactly is the difference?
It's a different art style for sure. Just the way that people mostly are drawn, like their features, differently. Okay. And some of like the cuts that they use and just the production style alone, I'm fine. I like anime, especially.
See, I don't like it.
They made some Marvel stuff anime. Recently, the Doctor Strange movie was kind of...
Okay. I'm wrong. It's just animated. It says Smith announced he will be serving as the showrunner and executive producer of the new animated series Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Well, it'd be odd to be anime because it's
That's what I thought
property.
too, yeah. And all I saw was it said anime. I know it did, but they were wrong.
Well, that's awesome. I love He-Man. I love the old He-Man cartoon. Huge fan. I'd love to, if it came back, I would totally watch it. I will watch it. Doesn't seem up the skill set, though, of Kevin Smith. Doesn't seem like a Kevin Smith type of... Now he's doing Howard the Duck. That makes sense.
Yeah, but he's in that world. That's his. I feel like that's his wheelhouse because he talks about...
It is. He's probably a huge He-Man
Buckaroo
fan.
Banzai,
Yeah, that's true.
He-Man, Howard the Duck, like all of those like early 80s, late 80s shows, he was all about. Like that's what he grew up on. So regardless of how much he liked Masters of the Universe and He-Man, I feel like he'll have a pretty good take.
Well, here's the deal.
I do think
he's going to run the writer's room.
Yeah.
And he's going to help develop the overarching story plot. Mm-hmm. And then he's going to have a writer's room. And Mark Bernardin's going to be in that writer's room. And I feel like Mark Bernardin has got it.
That's
everything he talks about on that show like seems spot on.
I don't agree with basically any of his reviews on most movies. I mean, I do agree with some of them, but some of his takes I just think are a little outlandish and a little bit too, I don't know.
Critical.
Yeah, too critical. But everything that he talks about writing and the writing that he's done, man.
Really good.
That dude is good at it.
Plus, there'll be a half dozen other writers involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, they'll bring in people that have written for He-Man before in the comics and various other properties. And that's the thing about Kevin Smith is he enjoys writers and he respects the medium. And I think there's been a long history, I'm assuming, of He-Man in comic book form. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think there was.
Yeah. So
they
plus it's a super deep universe and I love the fantasy genre. So I'm all in.
So deep. And I mean, I'm kind of excited to see the new Skeletor, like what they're going to do with Skeletor. That's awesome. And
that's also the toys that I had when I was a kid that my mom kept. Some of them are worth a lot of money. Like I have Castle Grayskull. I have the other castle, like the Skeletor's castle.
Yeah.
And it had like a snake on the top that you could take off and talk into it, and it was like a microphone.
Yeah.
But not a powered microphone, but it was like an echo microphone.
Yeah, one of the echo ones. So speaking of that, he told a joke in the beginning about how I think there was a different animated show that was never put out, and he was talking about how it was kind of like adult oriented, and one of the creators he was talking to when they were talking about putting this show together, he said, I thought about taking scenes out of each one of those episodes. He's like putting it together and calling it 50 Shades of Grayskull. Oh.
That'll get burned real quick.
Yeah. I thought it was really funny. It was obviously a joke.
What was the little ghost dude with the hat's name?
Ghost dude with a hat.
The little purple ghost guy with a hat.
I know who you're talking about. Isn't that the skull guy?
No. He was a good guy.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't have a laptop, so I can't.
Either way, it looks pretty good, and Mattel
So
is
it's really
launching...
weird because they just recently brought back She-Ra, right?
I don't know.
On Netflix, which was like a spin-off series.
Oh.
And I didn't watch it, but...
Well, Mattel timed this, and they, the day before, said that they were launching a new line of Master of the Universe toys, and they were called Revelation Toys, and the show is Master of the Universe Revelation. So
nice.
Yeah,
the little ghost dude's name was Orko.
Orko. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
I'm all in.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to watch it, regardless of how I feel about anything that it's ever been. I don't know. I'm going to watch it. Another bit of news that I forgot to bring up on the last podcast, because this came out quite a while ago. Most people probably already know about it, but I still think it's huge news and I need to discuss this, is that the CW is doing the whole crossover, like Crisis on Infinite Earths thing.
Yeah.
Between Arrow, Flash, like all of the DC universes. And they're bringing, so we've already talked about the Superman
Brandon
people
Routh
and all them, but they're bringing in Kevin Conroy as old Bruce Wayne.
Oh, really?
Nice.
And Kevin Conroy, as we should all know, is the voice of Batman and Bruce Wayne in the animated TV series from the 90s that I am an absolute freak about.
Who's going to be at Wizard World this weekend?
I'm either Friday or Saturday. I don't care what day.
You're going to wait in that line? It's going to be an hour's line.
I'm doing it.
But we're going 2 days, so we got plenty of time.
I have to do it. I feel like...
So you didn't want to see David Tennant or Matt Smith, but you'll go see Kevin Conroy?
Yeah. That's how much I love
I get it.
Batman, the animated series, and that man's voice.
I'll wait in that line with you, Jerry.
That sounds like day
That's
one.
a pledge from me to you.
Thank you.
You guys want to seal that in blood? Or
we seal things with kisses here.
Oh, well, I'm watching.
To our wives.
So is everyone else.
It's like, I'm going to kiss my wife
but
for you.
The camera's centered on me. I can't get across.
I can move mine.
Yeah. No.
Hand cam? Not a handy cam.
Oh. Wow.
No.
Wow.
I get it. I get it. That's funny.
What's a handy?
That's good. It's a cam. Anyway, so he's going to be there, and
Speaking of that, though, also on Crisis of Infinite Earths, Tom Welling, the Smallville Superman, is also going to be in it.
How does that work?
Is? Oh yeah, no.
Tyler
I knew
Hoechlin's
that.
Superman in that world,
and they're bringing in Brandon Routh Superman. It's Infinite Earths, so they're all different iterations of Superman.
But isn't Brandon Routh?
Yes.
What the hell's
Adam?
His name? Adam.
Yeah.
But he's from a different Earth.
See
Crisis of Infinite
wild.
Earths was a kind of a.
Oh yeah, it's wild.
Not Inception. Like it was.
It's just like like when Marvel talks about the multiverse.
Oh.
They call it a multiverse. DC has infinite Earths.
Oh yeah, no,
which makes sense because there is Infinite Earths.
Very
obviously.
into Flash and Arrow. I'm not looking forward to next year to be over.
Yeah, what I'm not looking for.
Well, Flash isn't ending. Arrow is, right?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna have anything to watch.
I haven't watched in a long time.
Well,
I'll leave that for what I'm watching.
The DC app has plenty for you to watch.
Yeah, well, you give me your login and
I will.
The words of I don't have enough to watch, I've never heard of.
Yeah, it doesn't make
in
any
the
sense.
last 5 years.
Does not compute.
There's so much stuff.
Speaking of Infinite Earths, I subscribe to that theory, by the way. That like physics theory. That there are infinite iterations of Earth.
Probably.
Because like the universe is so large.
You can't reach it all.
It's so large that every eventuality or possibility exists on every micro level. So like on somewhere in the world, we're all having this podcast right now, but we're all ducks.
You think we're ducks?
We're everything. We're rabbits.
I feel like I'd be an ostrich. I do. I feel it in my soul.
I'm gonna be a dick on that. Is that just because you want to be taller?
I think it is. I just want a neck, like just a giant.
And I can say that because I'm a short guy.
Yeah.
So
I just want a big neck. That's it.
Wants a long neck.
When I was a kid, I was fascinated with ostriches.
Really?
And I used to. Oh yeah.
I have no interest in that.
At my brother's, I
could maybe eat their eggs.
Listen to this.
So dismissive.
At my brother's wedding, not the wedding reception, but what do you do before that? The
rehearsal dinner.
Rehearsal dinner. It was at Bianchi's, and me and my brother's wife, like her stepbrother. So, we acted like we were ostriches and ran up and down this place because one person said like, you can't act like that. I'm like, yeah, we can. And so we did it, and they videotaped it, and then we did it at the wedding too, and it's all on film in this little Grady Snyder at the time because my brother got married when I was, let me think, 11.
Yeah.
And it's the most ridiculous thing. I don't remember watching it anytime soon. I know I've seen it before, but I remember doing it, and it's just ridiculous that people let me do those things in public.
It's like, fun going to weddings when you're a kid.
It is.
My sister had a wedding when I was in 5th grade, and I remember it was at my parents' house. That's probably the first time I can remember like drinking alcohol and being drunk.
At 11?
Well, 5th grade, whatever age you are in 5th grade.
Oh my gosh.
I probably I probably had some champagne and,
Oh, well, because that alcohol is different than the other alcohol.
But they had a band called Universal Slim and the Blues Kangaroos.
Oh,
that played.
That's a name.
They smelled like something was going on around them.
Really?
In the cloud.
Ganja?
Yeah. You got it.
Aggressive weed plan.
Aggressive weed plan.
So they let us kids like be a part of the band.
Okay.
So we would come up to sing songs. We had a little mini band called Chris, Thomas, and Jason. It was me, Thomas Jeske, Thomas Lowry, and Jason Baker.
Oh my gosh.
And we would go up there and sing songs with the band like Mustang Sally.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I remember everything. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So that's when you originally got your chops.
For the
music industry.
I think it might be. Chops. I think you've just uncovered.
I think so, because you're a much better singer than anybody else that has ever been on this podcast.
He's souly, isn't he? So souly.
He is.
I'm a good musician. I used to be in a couple bands. I was in a band. Me and Michael were in a band in high school.
Really?
We were.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Our producer, Michael Sheedy.
What band?
We just had a little band. We didn't have a name.
You didn't name the band? Isn't that like the first thing you do?
We didn't have... Oh, actually, we did. We were the Ryan Butte Band.
Oh, I knew that, man. You recorded stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
We played at the school auditorium once. We played at parties all the time.
Yeah.
At his house or my house. Not like people hired us, but...
Okay.
Yeah, we mostly played like 182
I think I saw a video of
Ryan Butte was not in the band, by the way.
I know.
He had a trumpet. He did not know how to play, and he would just kind of stand around with it.
I think I saw you guys on an episode of Where Are They Now?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And it's like, where is he now?
And it always like goes to gray when it gets to Chris, like
podcaster.
Yeah. His life took a turn for the worst.
I was thinking we should do some Snarfioki sometime soon and do Africa.
Wow, that's a good. Good one we could do.
Toto or
no Toto.
Weird Al and Weezer.
No, Toto.
No, definitely Toto.
Did you know
Toto.
that Weird Al randomly is on this kids show on Netflix called Storybots?
Yes.
Kevin Smith was also on it.
Yep, I saw him.
I love Weird Al.
Weird Al is the son.
No, I know this. You're not telling me anything.
I just discovered this show.
Yeah, I did too, actually, just recently. And the very first episode I ever saw was the Kevin Smith one. And I was
me
like,
too. Because it's the first
crap.
episode of the show.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like flying. They pretend that he's flying.
Yeah.
Yep. It's pretty great. You should watch it.
So, more news?
No, I really have nothing else other than that. I know that there's a big compendium of Saga. So, Saga has their compendium of issues coming out.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that means literally everything. And it was supposed to come out this fall, and they bumped it up, and they released a thing today that says it's coming out tomorrow.
Oh.
They said it's coming out a little bit earlier tomorrow.
That's a good point.
So-
Alex, have you read yet Saga?
No, I have not. So,
Wait, real quick. Can you read?
can I? Do
Yeah.
I have the ability to?
Yes.
With my
Just in general.
eyeballs?
Just making.
Yes.
Okay.
I did
Chris,
graduate
that's the first
school.
question you're supposed to ask.
I've read 3 comics.
Okay. They are?
All of Y the Last Man.
Good one.
All of it.
My dad did.
I was literally like screaming at my phone while I was listening to you guys, and I'm like, if Y the Last Man isn't your guys' top, I'm gonna just throw my phone.
was,
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
Both of
Yeah,
ours.
both
yeah.
of it, and just be done with you guys.
Yeah.
But it was, and I was very excited.
Yeah. You're welcome. We did it for you.
Your other favorite, majority of The Walking Dead,
Oh, really?
Okay.
and then I think I got one.
No, I can appreciate the comic book, and I appreciate
You've never
the writing.
even read the comic book, have you?
I've read some.
You've read
I mean,
some.
I haven't read a lot of it, no, but I have read
It's
some.
the thing about it is, though, it's like really continuing storyline. So,
Right.
you know,
You have
can-
to
you have
keep
to keep up.
And then the other one, I read one issue of Preacher,
Okay, yeah.
and I can remember originally reading Preacher and being like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well,
That's how I feel when I watch the show.
Yeah.
Show and comic, you have no idea what's going on.
You really don't.
That's pretty much standard for his comic books. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I would have read more.
Who did Preacher? Garth Ennis?
yeah.
Yeah. So he did The Boys, too.
The Boys, too, yeah. Well, you should definitely check out Saga and Lock and Key. Those are your 2 homework assignments.
Lock and Key is really good.
Well, it's a good thing I know a guy who probably has all those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just lended a bunch out to Zach, though. Zach was home, of the Zach and Maggie, the other winner of the Snarf
The
Madness.
top winners.
And he said, hey, I'm home for a couple days. I need to stop by your house. I'm on a, period of my, what I'm doing right now is reading Spider-Man.
Okay. Oh,
So
okay.
I need to collect a bunch of
Oh,
Spider-Man
geez,
stuff.
you've got that.
I got that. I gave him like 10 Spider-Man trades, and he was leaving with those. And I'm like, is that all you're going to take is Spider-Man? And he's like, yeah, I guess. Do you have anything else to give me? And I just,
Do I ever?
and I'm like, I gave him Transmetropolitan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too.
And I knew, I think he would like that one.
Isn't
so.
that with Spider Jerusalem?
Yes. Yes.
He's a gonzo journalist.
gonzo journalist,
right?
yeah.
That's a good.
That's
a good
definitely
book.
a good one, but also, I think that might be same. Is that Garth Ennis too?
Yeah,
It's also hard
it is
to follow.
Yeah, it is. Now that you say that, I
Deep
didn't even
cuts.
think about that. And this is your Garth Ennis
Yeah.
segment.
The report.
Yeah. So we have a topic we're going to discuss this episode, and we need to get to it.
We do. We need to get to it.
Because I have a lot of. I don't. I
We have
mean,
a
it's
lot
not
to
a
talk
ton,
about.
but I have some honorable mentions because I was the one who said we should do a top 10.
It's very
and
difficult. We should have
I
done top 20.
I think we should have done a top 20.
Yeah.
So, with no further ado, from Alf to Wings,
That's funny you say
your
that.
top 10 sitcoms of all time.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to discuss on this episode.
But you gave me very strict stipulations
Very strict
There
stipulations.
is.
on this
because
one.
I'm going to tell either one of you if The Simpsons is on your sitcom list?
You can't.
It is not.
Because it has to be filmed in front of a live studio audience
Or
a laugh track.
Or a laugh track.
There you go.
That was my stipulation. Originally, I said multicam. I guess it doesn't really matter as long as it's filmed in front of a live studio audience or has a laugh track. Because that's what I consider a sitcom. If you look online for top sitcoms, they list shows like
The Office,
and Scrubs, Parks and Rec. Those are not sitcoms.
No, I know.
Scrubs
is
not a sitcom.
Yes, it
it's
is.
a single cam comedy show.
Filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Wrong. Definitely not filmed in front of a live studio
I don't think it was.
It definitely was not. It's a single cam show. It was filmed in like a hospital. They found an old closed down hospital and they filmed that show in there. So if it's on your top 10 list,
it was actually filmed in front of a live studio audience.
It was
from
not.
IMDb.
It definitely wasn't. I'm going to tell you that. Whatever you're looking at,
it's on my list. So eat it.
I don't think it was. I would have put it on my list if it was. I would have.
I would have if it was, but it wasn't.
Because I do love that show. Let's see. So we can start. Yeah. So again, had to be multicam, I guess, or filmed in front of a live studio audience or a laugh track, and that's it, right? Like that's the criteria. So that's what we did. We did do top 10, and then
and also
again, we
Jerry. Just to point out, Jerry tried to boot Alex from the show on this one because he wanted to bring in his own special guest.
I did, and only because I thought
he didn't even know you were going to be on the show.
Yeah, I didn't know you were coming on the show.
I was 3 feet away from both of you when he told you that I was going to be here.
Yeah, apparently he doesn't remember any of that.
That's not true.
Were you drunk at that party?
No. None of that is true.
That child's birthday party?
Okay.
I
want to clear up one thing before we go further. One episode of Scrubs, which was specifically made to be a fantasy episode where they were in front of a live studio audience, was filmed in front of a live studio
I didn't
audience.
do a lot of research.
It was called My Life in 4 Cameras, and it was a take on a single cam show as a multicam
sitcom. Nice.
I saw that it's not on my list, so don't worry. On another note, how is your oldest son after his giant spill off of a slide?
He was the middle son.
Oh, that's the middle son.
Yeah, he was completely fine.
Oh,
actually, he cried the entire way home, as did Grady.
The
oldest son, he cried the entire way home because they didn't want to leave.
We had my daughter's birthday party this weekend at a park. The kids were covered in water.
Because there was a splash pad.
There was a splash pad.
Yeah.
Jerry, and he came over to Jerry, said, hey, Dad, can I go over on that slide? And Jerry said, hold on, wait a second. And he dumped a bunch of vegetable oil all over him.
I saw it.
And he set him on the slide. And he went, whoop, off the side of the slide.
It was a curly slide.
Nightmarish water park accident.
It was apparently bad because Amy...
It landed straight in his face.
Yeah, basically on his face. His face kind of swelled up on his cheek.
It
and
definitely swelled up.
And
he had
got scratches. He still has scratches.
From the mulch.
Yeah, he's got scratches on his cheek still, but he was completely fine as soon as we went home. Literally as soon as we got home, we gave him a bath and he was fine.
Okay, so without further ado, let's get to our top 10. And as always, Jerry will just say, I have to go last because I'm the most important. So
me?
We'll start with me.
No, it's because of the...
Chris, you have to start.
It's because I look at you as noon, and that would be backwards. So never mind.
I'm not sure where you were going with that. But.
We go counterclockwise in Snarf World.
Right.
All right, we'll start with my number 10, which was my most difficult pick.
I agree.
Because it's not a show that I particularly feel like should be in the top 10. It's not a show that I particularly love, but I gotta give credit where credit's due to Friends.
Okay.
I feel like it was just a tough pick because everybody loves Friends.
Yeah, everybody does.
It's probably one of the most popular sitcoms of all time. I just personally think there's a lot of other things that are better, but I threw it into my number 10, and that's where I went.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I think that might be his number 1.
No. Gosh.
Good Dinosaur.
Good Dinosaur.
Good Dinosaur is Jerry's number 1. It should have been a sitcom because I laughed through the entire thing.
So you liked it?
I laughed at how terrible it was.
Oh. Okay.
Alex, on to your number 10 best sitcom of all time.
Friends.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Because I've seen. I've seen every episode.
I've seen every episode too. And I'm not gonna lie. I've seen every episode when it was on. At the time, I watched it live every week on Thursday. It's funny.
Remember the day?
Yeah, it was must see TV Thursdays.
It was. Everything was.
Not Friday.
So
Friday was CW Friday.
Why number 10? Because most people would have it way higher. I thought I was
TGIF.
I thought I was actually not giving its due by going at 10. I just couldn't go higher because there's so many other things I respect more.
I agree.
So it's my number 10 for you have to you can't not include Friends.
Yeah, but the first 2 times I did this list, which I did it twice, I didn't have Friends on it, and I kept going back. I'm like, oh,
does it have to be in the top 10? You think?
Well, it
does.
It's probably it. Yeah, it probably is. It is funny. It's laugh out loud funny.
That's one of
my characterizations for how I made this list. I need to laugh out loud.
I know, but I believe that was part of the marketing of
is it really?
Thursday night, laugh out loud funny. I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
I just think if Netflix doesn't step up their game and they get rid of Friends,
they are losing it.
It's done.
They are losing it.
Yeah,
I know that.
And The Office.
Right. Those are the in my opinion,
think Netflix has a choice in it because NBC owns it and they're taking it back.
Right. But I think that if they don't figure out their Netflix original stuff and get a lot more better content, because some of it's not great, but Friends is keeping that alive, in my opinion. But
I agree.
I mean, like I said, I've seen every episode. It is very funny. I threw some older shows in there
to give them their credit,
because I might not have seen every episode of it. The ones that further on the list, but I feel like the couple shows that I chose, that if those didn't happen, shows like Friends wouldn't have.
Right. Fair enough.
Okay,
Jerry, number 10.
My
Friends.
number 10. No, it's not. It tried to come back, and I think it failed miserably.
Okay.
But is Roseanne.
All right.
I like Roseanne, but it was never a show that it's kind of the same thing you're thinking of with Friends. It needs the credit because it was
groundbreaking.
It's a groundbreaking show. It was very good, but I think it was just a little bit too adult for me at the time. I think I was just too young to appreciate it for what it needed to be appreciated for. But I knew it needed to be in a top 10 of sitcoms. So I think so. Anyways, so
if you find any list, it's going to be way up there because it's a highly respected show.
Sure.
It was not one that I was allowed to watch as a kid.
Oh no,
really?
My parents would not. My mom would not let me watch it because Roseanne was rude.
Oh gosh, I watched.
Didn't like
she's
her.
basically me in a female form now. She's very loud.
Yeah,
that's
in your
funny.
face.
So I wasn't allowed to watch Roseanne, so I didn't watch a lot of the originals. I went back and watched a lot, and I did catch it on reruns here and there.
And I have watched it since.
And I have too. And I watched the reboot, and I actually enjoyed the reboot quite a bit.
Oh, really? I just feel like
I was actually kind of upset that it was not failing. It was one of the biggest rated shows of all time.
That's not why it got canceled.
No, it got canceled because Roseanne said
Obama.
things she should not have said. Yeah.
But that's why I got
Or
canceled.
it might have been the other view, but
it was actually doing spectacularly well.
Wow, I didn't
Other
know.
shows were rebooted as well, like Murphy Brown, which failed miserably.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And some other shows that got rebooted didn't do well. I think Will and Grace got rebooted. It didn't do well.
Yeah.
Roseanne got rebooted and was breaking all records. Huge.
Wow. Okay.
And it was a good show that resonated with middle America, I think. It didn't talk down.
Small town Illinois.
No, it didn't talk
works
down to middle America like most.
And it tackled a lot
does.
of family problems.
And it was ahead of its time as far as racism and stuff like that. It addressed all those topics.
That's what I mean. And it handled a lot of family problems that were never discussed on TV before, with teenage daughters or sons and different things that moms and dads go through.
But
and
I can never stand DJ.
Number 9.
My number 9 is Night Court.
Oh, I love that show.
I loved
Never
Night
heard of
Court.
it.
You've never heard of Night Court?
You haven't? Oh my gosh, Bull.
Okay.
The
what do you call
bailiff?
It? Yeah, bailiff.
Yeah, he was the best.
Night Court is it was on when we were kids. It might have been in reruns. I don't know, but I watched every episode. I absolutely loved it. John Larroquette was in it.
He was the judge.
It was no, he wasn't.
Wasn't
the
he
judge.
the judge?
It was Harry something. What was the guy that was the judge? I can't remember his name.
I can see his
John
face.
Larroquette was one of the lawyers, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was about a night court.
A night
It was a court that went in, and it was interesting too because it was like, I don't know, it was an interesting setting for a comedy that you didn't see a lot in the courtroom, you know.
Yeah.
And I just loved that show when I was a kid, and I could not get enough of that show. John Larroquette was one of my favorites. I loved it. That's my number 9.
Awesome.
Yours, Alex?
My number 9.
Yeah.
Roseanne.
Oh, there you go.
Now you're one step above Jerry, so
You are.
Why is it number 9 instead of number 10?
Same things that you guys said.
Okay.
I mean, I put Roseanne above Friends because it did, like Jerry said, it addressed things that people weren't talking about.
Yeah, Friends was a little like surface level, you know, like
Friends
fun.
was 6 people that everybody wanted to be, and they all lived close together.
Yeah,
and
had no real responsibility.
The
or
crazy thing
commitment.
about Friends was how every woman in the world thought that they should be a member of the Friends group.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like Phoebe. I'm just like Rachel. And you're just like nobody.
You're just like Chandler when he got his Vicodin addiction.
which time? Because that's my favorite thing about watching Friends from season 1 to all the way to the end.
Because they reuse storylines.
No, it's the fluctuation of Matthew Perry and his weight and his drug addiction.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell, he's really into him now, and then he sobered up.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we should be talking about Roseanne because it was your pick, but on the Friends discussion, who is your favorite friend?
My favorite friend.
What?
Joey.
Joey?
Yeah.
What about you, Alex?
Like, who do I think that I'd want to go get a beer with, or who did I find the most attractive?
No, just like who was the most entertaining?
Oh, the most entertaining?
Yeah.
Well, that's like a tie between Joey and Chandler.
Yeah.
I mean, those two interact. Like,
I'd say Chandler.
They had a duck as a pet.
I thought we might
in
have
their
a
apartment.
Ross in here.
Not a Ross.
Hi.
That's funny.
He should be on a 90s superhero list somewhere. He should be the Overlooker.
He is the Overlooker. That's a callback to last episode.
Yeah, if you didn't get that.
Yep.
Okay, number 9 for you, Jerry, is...
I don't know if you're going to believe it. Is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I do believe it.
You do believe it as a number 9?
It might make an appearance on my list as well.
Yeah, I loved
That's
Fresh
mine.
Prince. I watched it all the time. Everything about it I loved. I thought it was super hilarious. And then recently, Reddit puts it up a lot about the acting Will Smith has with it's his uncle in the show, but I don't remember. But it's when he's talking about like not having a dad or just wanting to have a dad. And that scene. And
I see sometimes like Fresh Prince episode scenes come up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And man, there's some that I've cried.
Super emotional
Cut
stuff.
right at you.
It did
Like
have
the dad one, and then also the one where Carlton was going to join a black fraternity, but he wasn't black enough. They wanted Will.
I don't remember.
I know
Carlton.
exactly. It's some Facebook feed, nostalgia.
Yeah.
That's where I see it all the time.
Yeah.
And
That show had so many of those moments,
and that
and driven by an amazing cast. First off, but Will Smith, unbelievable in that show.
he really was.
And his uncle, unbelievable in that show.
He just recently passed away like a year or two ago.
Yeah. Now there was 2 different moms, right? Over the course of that show.
I don't remember.
it's like the last season they switched my.
Not the last. I think the first season they had one, and then it switched to another one. And the second season,
I always remember the same one the whole time. I guess I
think
don't remember
the
it
other one
changing.
was only in the first season. I think.
But I think it is super groundbreaking to begin with because it's an all-black cast in from the early 90s throughout that just it didn't happen as often as you would think. Nowadays you see a lot of black people cast all the time, and everything. But at that time it was not that way. You didn't have black people in basically anything. It was very white oriented, and this show did that. But honestly, I say that now.
You were a different world.
I say that now because of how we live in today's society. But at the time, I literally never thought 1 second about any of that.
Yeah.
As a kid, like watching it.
And that was what's great about that show, too. It was a kid's show. I mean, it was aimed at kids.
Yeah.
But it was very entertaining for adults. I'll watch it now. And partly because Will Smith is brilliant in it. And he's super funny. And you forget how funny he is. You forget how funny when he takes all these serious roles, how amazingly hilarious he is as a physical comedian and also as just a regular comedian.
And at the time, he was a musician.
Yeah.
That's when he started being a musician was, it was before he actually got Fresh Prince. And then once he was in the show, he continued it. Obviously, later on, he was a little bit bigger of a musician. And is it called a rapper? Was he a rapper?
He was a rapper, yeah.
Really?
Welcome to Miami.
Rappist.
Oh, wow, we tried this once before. I know we did.
No, I think another groundbreaking thing about that show was the fact that it was tackling issues that you never even thought of.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was tackling the issue of like this was a rich black family, and they were having to deal with, people calling them, names or not fitting in with the community, and then also Will's friends from home coming in and not fitting in and.
Getting into a fight, and your mom gets scared.
In a way, like the show Blackish now.
I couldn't hold it in. I wanted to just leave it and not say anything, but I had to say it.
But in a way, the show Blackish now is kind of playing with the same themes, but not as good, I don't think. I mean, I think that's a good show too, but...
I've never watched it.
Never seen it.
My number 8, right?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
My number 8 is MASH.
Oh, wow. I never even thought about putting it on there, to be honest.
I loved MASH when I was a kid. I just loved, I don't know why, too, because it's not really a kid's show.
Right.
But the scene at the beginning with the helicopter, the music, everything about it. And
it's
then
awesome.
The humor's great. And when I didn't discover till I was older, the movie MASH, which came out before the TV show MASH.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And is kind of completely different than the TV show.
Really?
The movie was also kind of a comedy. The movie's amazing. If you haven't seen the movie MASH, you have to go watch it immediately. It's a triumph. It's an amazing movie, yes. But then the show came out, which was a little more slapsticky and more of a comedy. And completely different, but also hilarious. And I don't know why. It's one of those shows, if you start watching it, you can't stop watching
and
it.
It's always been heralded as one of the best TV shows of all time.
And not filmed in front of a live studio audience, but did have a laugh track.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, that's one of them things.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
All right, Alex, you're number 8.
Well, real quick, one of the best things that doesn't even have to do with the actual show itself, but in it's Family Guy, the cartoon Family Guy. Stewie gets in this deep, dark depression at one point, and all he sings is the theme song to MASH, but he sings the actual words because it says suicide is painless, and he's just I don't remember what it is, but he's sitting in this in a bar, in this a booth, and he's just singing the song, and he's all bloody. I don't know. I think it's hilarious because he's a baby. He's a small child.
I don't watch enough Family Guy. I just love Seth MacFarlane. I don't watch that show at all. But I'm obsessed with the Orville because it's an amazing show.
I know you are. And I still haven't watched any of it.
Anyway, your number 8, Alex.
Big Bang Theory.
That was one I definitely debated to put on my list because I love the show.
Yeah.
And I watch it now, week to week. Every week when it comes out, I watch it.
It's very good.
My thing is, I think Big Bang Theory bridged the gap between nerds and not nerds.
I think it made a huge difference.
I mean, I
think it's partially responsible for the nerd culture now is dominating our world.
To be acceptable.
It's dominating everything.
Exactly.
That's probably a big part of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because
I think it really did a really good job tying in the big movie aspect of these, the comic book entertainment, and then bringing it down to a level of saying this is where it started.
Yeah.
On a smaller level of, hey, we read these books and we go to these little events.
Oh, definitely.
And we can be cool too.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it has a great drama aspect.
It does.
You kind of fall in love with those characters and
it's a rom-com
with them.
and
It's a rom-com,
it's all
yeah.
that stuff.
It is, yeah.
I wasn't crazy about the ending. Like, well, first of all, the last episode, it was very good. Like, it honestly made me tear up.
Really?
Yeah.
Those shows will do that, though.
They do it on purpose.
I mean, yeah.
But it did. It was good. It was satisfying that, maybe I was just upset that it was ending.
And I think a
Probably.
lot of that plays into those scenarios. Like, if you were to go back right now and just watch the final episode, the chances of you probably tearing up is a little bit less.
Oh, yeah,
But, like,
for
if you binge a bunch of it and then it's like,
Yeah, you've grown with that
shit.
show.
this is ending.
It's over, yeah.
Like, now what am I going to do?
I do think it struggled. I think it fell off a little towards the end, the last couple seasons.
Most of them do, though.
Yeah, but not that much.
No.
You know, I'm like, it was
No.
still very high level. And the fact, like, my favorite thing about Big Bang was the guest appearances. Like having Will Wheaton be
Oh,
a
yeah.
Will
character,
Wheaton
Oh,
was
yeah.
on there all the
having
time.
Bob Newhart on it.
Yeah.
Having all these people on there. I just love that show.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
That's funny.
And for some reason, there's a lot of hate for that show out there. And I
There
don't know
is?
why.
I didn't even know
Like,
that.
people don't respect it. But I think it's a brilliant show.
Yeah. And like I said,
And Chuck Lorre, oh my God, this guy is, how rich
Genius.
is he?
Stupid.
He's
rich.
got all the money, right?
he could buy Snarf.
Oh, yeah.
You think he could?
He could pay my $100,000.
Because
don't
it isn't that. I mean, I think
that's
that was his
pretty-
biggest
Minimum.
show. I mean, that was the biggest show of all time. One of them.
What was?
The Big Bang Theory. But he also did like 2.5
2.5
Men.
Men.
Yeah.
He did Mom, which is really big too. And actually, that's a pretty good show too. But,
Pretty much anything on CBS.
yeah. There's several more that I'm
Yeah.
not even
He
thinking
did
of.
House
So.
too.
Did he do House?
Yeah, he
Yep.
was
Oh my
House.
God, I love House.
So
That's
did
a bad hat, Harry.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
My number 8 was also Big Bang Theory. so,
Really?
yeah.
So this was tough for me because I didn't put Big Bang Theory on my list, but I love the show.
That's silly.
There's just too many shows. That's the thing. Top
I know.
20, you know.
I know.
And I think part of the reason why I didn't is because it's so new that I'm almost like, well, I don't want to do like only a new shows because I have
Why?
a lot of
It just
other
ended.
newer shows. I don't know. I guess I don't have a lot of
like
new
a year
shows.
and a half ago.
So
Fine. Anyway, great show.
yeah. Number 7 for Christopher.
My number 7 is The Puddin' Pop.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Was that a good impression?
No.
No.
No, not at
It's
all.
definitely The Cosby Show.
It was not a good impression, but it was. I mean, it conveyed.
Did it?
Yeah, the show.
You got what I was trying
I
to
did.
do there.
I did get it.
It's The Cosby Show. I love The Cosby Show. It's
I watched
as
a
a
lot
kid,
of it.
I've probably seen every episode 5 times. I mean, I watched
Really?
it
That
nonstop
much?
when I was a kid. It was on all the time, first off.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
And it was,
It was.
I just, it's nonstop laughing out loud. It's hilarious, that show.
It is pretty good.
And it also has serious moments too, but they don't revel in them as much as some other shows do. But
Right.
outside of that, it's just a hilarious show. I love the Cosby Show. That's
Okay.
it. That's all I have to say about that.
Plus the sweaters.
The sweaters.
The sweaters are great.
Oh my gosh.
That was also a groundbreaking show, by the way, because
yeah.
to, again, portray like a black family that's upper class
Yep.
Yeah.
was a big deal back then.
It was huge.
But they didn't address it. That's
No.
the thing that was great about that show.
they
They never
never
talked
do.
about race.
No, they never did. It
At
was
least
just,
I don't remember them doing
But
that.
it was just completely. It was just played off as completely normal. Like this is the way it is, which
Yeah.
they're 100% right. And it wasn't needed. I feel like it's the same thing that we have talked about before, and you've brought it up a lot, Chris, about writing, like writing for a female actress. You know, like you don't notice that they are the lead in a show, or it doesn't make a difference in the movie because the writing is good enough. The story is good enough to support the characters, and I feel like the writing of those shows and what the story was that came through was good enough to support anybody in those positions. So it doesn't matter
Yeah.
who you are; it still works.
It's a shame that I don't know if you'll ever see the Cosby Show again.
You won't.
No.
Like I don't think it'll ever get played again.
No.
But and obviously he's a monster, an awful human being. But that was such a good show, and there's a lot of other people involved in that show.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I
it
don't
really
know.
was. I never actually thought about that you might not ever see it run again.
I can't imagine anyone is playing that show.
They won't. Because
It's
the
impossible.
thing is, it's named after him. You're never going to see that show again.
Yeah.
Did you remember that there was 2? Like there was the Cosby Show, and then after a while, and then it went off the air, and it came back as I think just Cosby.
I don't remember that.
But it was like the same show, but it was like a different family a little bit. I don't remember.
Maybe they could like rebrand it and put it out as like the Schmarsby show.
Well, first of all, I don't think there's a show without Bill Cosby. I think he was in every scene in that.
No, I know, but
show.
then every time he comes in, they're like, "Hey, Mr. Schmarsby." You know, they don't call him by his name, and therefore it's not tied to him.
Phil Schmarsby.
Phil Schmarsby here. I just love the fact that he always wanted to make a big sandwich and eat it. That's all he wanted to do.
I forgot about that.
He just wanted to eat sandwiches.
He really did eat a lot of sandwiches, didn't he?
Yeah.
And pudding.
He's just like, yeah, sandwich.
Nope.
Number 7 to Alex P. Keaton.
Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, nice.
For one reason only. The song.
That's the only reason.
No, everything that we talked about.
Everything else.
Can we all sing the song
10
right now?
minutes.
Should we do it?
Oh, God.
Now
this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there and tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel-Air. I don't know that. I mean, I do know the rest of it, but
in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Maxing, relaxing.
No, it's not cool and something.
No,
I was shooting some b-ball outside of school when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I like that.
I got
one mic back and forth.
I got one little fight. My mom got scared. She said, "You're moving with the auntie and I'm from Bel-Air." I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the lights said,
we're
dice
still
in the mirror. If anything, I could say
this cab was
queer.
If anything, I could say that this cab was
rare.
Yeah,
but maybe. I said, nah, forget it. Yo, home to Bel-Air.
Yeah.
I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the cabby, "Yo, home, smell you later." Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel-Air. Why do you want to end it?
When he does that, that's what he does at the door.
Yes, he does do that. Do that to the camera.
No, you gotta do it at the back of your head, though.
Oh, yeah.
Alex, where are you going?
I can't do it. Anyway.
All right.
You can't do that during recording.
Yeah, you can't just walk away during a recording.
We don't ever get up when we record. I don't know if he knows that or not.
So I guess since he's away, we can't go any further, so we need to talk a little more about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. Well, I guess so.
Even though we covered this topic.
Or Big Bang Theory. One of the two. I do like in Big Bang Theory that they do have Will Wheaton in it because
Will Wheaton.
And
so, who is your favorite actor character in Big Bang Theory?
I don't know if
a tough question.
It is, and I don't remember all of their names exactly. I have not personally watched every episode of Big Bang Theory. I've watched.
I've not watched every episode, but I've watched a lot of them.
I've
watched the last 3 seasons pretty religiously.
And I haven't. I fell out of it and didn't watch probably at least the last 3 seasons.
There's Howard, there's Raj, there's Amy, Farrah Fowler.
Yeah, Howard's the main guy, right?
No.
With glasses from
No. Are you thinking of Leonard?
Leonard.
Johnny or Galecki, right?
Yes.
Leonard, and there's
I like
Penny,
Leonard.
obviously.
I like Leonard, and I do like
Sheldon. Do you watch Young Sheldon?
I don't.
Very much like Young Sheldon.
You do?
It's very good.
I get so turned off of having having that like spin off of a show.
Oh, I think it's the great.
Most ridiculous.
Young Sheldon is a great show.
Really?
Yeah. Check it out. You'll like it.
Are you sure?
Yes, you will like that show. You will,
because I just do not feel like it could be.
You
good.
will like it. My favorite character on The Big Bang Theory is, what's the guy's name? That's the comic book store owner, Stewart.
Oh yeah, now I remember. He's a good guy.
If not Stewart, then it's Penny, because I think Kaylee Cuoco is she's really good.
You think so?
Yeah, she's got great comic timing.
Yeah, but I just don't think there's. I don't know. I don't feel like there's as much.
Leonard's
written
too
into
whiny.
I like
Sheldon
Leonard.
can be annoying.
Sheldon.
Yeah, I like Raj.
Raj is good.
Yeah. Okay, now we can get on.
Sorry, I don't have a Snarf camel bladder. Okay?
Yeah, well,
I apologize.
we just pee in bottles underneath
Well, maybe.
Oh, wait, you have a bottle?
I've been peeing in bottles, Jerry.
Oh my gosh, I just peed my pants the whole time. Why didn't you tell me about the bottles?
All right, we need to move this along because I got a lot of what you're watching too. So number 7
for me.
Oh, we got a long ways to go here.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh,
I loved that show. Watched
bro.
it all the time. I've watched so many reruns of that show.
that was one that I caught probably mostly in reruns.
Did you?
But
I watched it.
and I have not. I will never claim, but I have not watched all seasons or episodes. I didn't watch them in order, but it's one you can pick up and watch anytime
you
and
want.
literally laugh out loud
Funny.
constantly.
I
Yeah.
agree.
In that show,
I agree.
it is
It's so
for
funny.
my money
Everything's
one of the best.
And like Raymond's mom is just absolutely ridiculous, and a good friend of the show, David Siedentop, he's always said that grandma is his grandma in real life.
I agree. That would be my grandma.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you know David's grandma too. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
it's really great. I love everything about the show. I've watched all of it probably 15 times. The amount of times I've watched that show in the evening, like 11 o'clock at night when it's been a rerun and I'm just trying to fall asleep, like that was what I watched all the time
Yeah,
growing up. So,
great show. Did you ever catch her next show, which was The Middle?
Yeah,
Patricia Heaton, right?
yes, it's not that great. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
See.
It's okay.
I liked it a little bit. I didn't follow it really, but I love Neil Flynn, who was the janitor in Scrubs.
Yes, he's the dad.
He's amazing.
He is really good, and their kid is pretty funny.
Yeah,
The one kid.
the one. Well, yeah,
I don't.
the one with the brittle bone disorder.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Well, he has it in real life, not in the show.
I mean, it's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll get to my number 6. Everyone loves Raymond.
No kidding.
Yes,
Oh, do you like that show?
I love that show. Yeah,
It's so good.
I shouldn't say I love that show because like I said, I haven't like fervently watched it, but I've seen enough, and it's every time you turn it on, you're laughing out loud. I think it's one of the best.
Yeah. All right.
Plus the dad. I mean,
Yeah, he's really great.
What's his name?
Not
Peter
Raymond.
something, right? His real name is Peter.
probably
something.
Frank.
Peter Weller.
it's Frank.
His
Not
name
Peter
is
Weller. Peter Weller was the voice of Batman,
Andy's RoboCop.
wasn't he?
No, he's
Yeah, no.
RoboCop.
In the Dark Knight Returns animated movie, wasn't Peter Weller the voice of Batman?
He was.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Dude, look that up for us.
Dude's not here.
No, I know, but he's listening in Iowa.
I'm
Okay.
the undude.
He'll know that. Dude would know that.
I know he would. He talked about Peter Weller all
Well,
the time. You remember that?
I don't know if dude.
I don't know
Did
why.
talk about Peter Weller a lot. I don't know if dude would know that, but dude would look it up and act like he knew it.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's true.
All right, Alex, you're number
Six.
Home Improvement. And I won't lie. Originally,
You've been waiting all night to do that. You've been waiting.
my original number 6 was the Cosby Show, and
Did you take it out because of political
he
correctness?
changed
no,
it.
I took it out because I forgot about Home Improvement. And when I got down to thinking, like, I didn't watch the Cosby Show all that much.
Oh,
Like,
see, I did a lot.
you're also
I
older
did.
than me.
I did watch
And
the
reruns.
Cosby Show.
And
But
reruns.
No, I've seen a lot of the Cosby Show, but I've seen like every episode of Home Improvement.
Home Improvement was a never miss in our household. Our entire family. That's probably the best thing to me about Home Improvement. My memories is that was a appointment television,
Oh yeah,
and for the entire family, like every single one of us.
yeah, we did that a lot too.
And we did that a lot. We did that with Bulls games
Yes, we
and
did too.
Home Improvement, and that was about it.
No kidding.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
We had to turn this game off. Home Improvement's on.
yeah.
We
No, I mean, why did you pick it?
it's just like everything that I can remember about my childhood. I mean, sitting on the couch and I'd be watching Tim Allen.
Yeah,
Tim the Tool Man.
Tim
Tim
the
the
Tool
Tool
Man.
Man
Oh,
Taylor.
it's time for Tool time.
Yeah.
What about
And-
the scene at the end where they're setting up for the wedding? I think it was maybe the last episode or one of the last episodes, and they have to take down the fence. So you
see
finally
Wilson.
You do see Wilson?
No,
No,
I'm pretty
because
sure
he
he's
was
got something
holding
in
a
front of
Holds
his
fence.
like a
face.
little fence.
Yeah.
He finds a way to keep it in front of him. But that was a very touching show too. Also had a lot of
did.
Heavy stuff.
And it was another really good family-oriented show where it dealt with things that families were doing at the time that I thought...
Remember when Mark became
really
goth?
Yes. Yes.
Do you remember when the oldest started smoking pot?
Oh, yeah.
And the joke...
Was it Zach?
Yes.
Zach, yeah.
His joke is, remember how hard of a time we had potty training him? First we couldn't get him on the pot. Now we can't get him off the pot.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember that part.
I like that he was always working on that hot rod, too.
My sister and every other girl her age was obsessed with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah,
JTT.
of course. JTT.
Oh my gosh.
That was carved into so many desks in the Mazan school.
In that one teenage
it was
magazine that always came out. I don't remember what the teenage magazine was. They'd put posters of these kids in these magazines. And my sister would have all of them on there. Same with
he was also the voice of Simba.
Yeah, he was. The same with Joey Lawrence.
Yeah, Joey Lawrence.
From Brotherly Love.
From Blossom.
Yeah. That also Brotherly Love. Was that
the Lawrence brother? That was all three of them.
Three of them, yeah.
Absolutely, but I remember him from Blossom. Anyway.
Might make an appearance on our list.
Yeah, definitely my number one.
Remember when Jonathan Taylor Thomas, I don't remember his name in the show, but didn't he get a brain tumor or something? Some kind of cancer in that show? Like in the show.
I don't know.
Yeah, he definitely did. Like it was a big plot point for one of the later
I'm not going to
seasons.
argue with you.
It was a good show. Anyway, your number 6.
So my number 6 is going to be you're not going to like it.
Okay.
Because it's good. You're going to think it's way too high, but the general public will think otherwise.
Okay.
As it being too low. And I think it's perfect in the middle at number 6, and that is Friends.
Friends. Okay. No, I'm not judging you for that.
Well, you normally do, and as soon as we get off air, you're gonna
most lists would probably
tear me down.
Most lists would probably have it in the top 5.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think 6 is a good point for it. I also think it's laugh out loud funny. There are points where it's extremely funny, and there are certain scenes that are played still. Like all the time they'll play these certain scenes, like the one where they're moving the couch up the stairs. Pivot! And he says pivot. I don't know why that's funny, but I do think it's so funny. And it's just
one
the
line
acting
pops into my head at least once a week.
And
doing something.
I know, and I quote it. I quote a lot of it. I was never a fan of Friends when it was out. I really wasn't. Where I got to appreciate it more was that Amy was huge into Friends. She watched it all the time. And the only reason she watched it all the time,
Friends.
She didn't watch it like on when it was running all the time. It was just like the syndication of it. It was on at nighttime.
Yeah.
And it would run at like 10 o'clock. And then at 10:30 it'd be
all the time.
Will and Grace.
Any channel.
Yeah. It was like Friends. They'd play like 2 episodes of Friends and then 2 episodes of Will and Grace. And by that time it'd be 11:30 and fall asleep. And she watched it all the time. And I would watch it with her. And that's when I started soaking up all these Friends episodes. And that's when I grew a bigger appreciation for the show, because then I realized like it's pretty good.
Well, it's one of those shows, like, I think that its appealing factor is that it was laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
But
there's no depth.
Characters, there's no depth. Yeah. It was really hipstery almost. Not hipstery because that was before kind of that.
Yeah.
But just, the characters were all kind of douchey.
Yeah. It was no more than just these characters living together, and they had nothing underneath of that. They didn't want to tap into like pasts.
They did a little bit later with like Ross and Rachel.
Very little.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll move on to my number 5.
Yes.
Home Improvement.
Ooh. Home Improvement. There you go.
Yeah. Everything we've already talked about. I mean,
thank you.
I think no other list has this, and even in the top like 100.
No,
but
you won't.
It's insane to me because it was such a great show, and it was appointment television for all of America.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a huge show when it was on.
Yes, it absolutely was, and that was something that we all, like you had said, we all sat down to watch this show. Like everybody, and like your dad would like it just as much as you would like it as a child.
Have you watched? Any of you watch Last Man Standing?
I do not.
I have watched it. Yes.
It's phenomenal.
It's pretty good, yeah.
I don't watch it enough. It's really funny, and it's just like Home Improvement, basically.
And it was good enough to where it got canceled and then was brought back by a completely different network.
Yeah, and rightfully so. It's a great show, and I don't watch it enough.
It got tore down a lot because of its conservative views.
Oh, the funny thing about that is, like, that's got like this misnomer and whatever. That show got a lot of credit for being conservative, and I think that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, people liked that, and they're like, Tim Allen's a conservative, blah, blah, blah. And Tim Allen's come out and be like, I'm not conservative.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's come out and said that. He's like, he's probably more conservative than most actors in Hollywood.
Right.
But, like, he's not like a...
Oh, see, I had assumed that he was.
Not really.
Oh.
But
he's all about
Michigan. He is
Michigan.
on the show, that's for sure.
He is pure Michigan.
Did you guys know that he originally got arrested at one point?
Oh, man.
Yeah, for smuggling pot, right?
No, cocaine. He was... And hookers.
My cocaine?
What?
My cocaine.
Oh,
I think he got arrested with, like, blow and hookers.
I didn't know that.
Anyway.
Him and Sly Stallone?
Your number 5, Alex.
Happy Days.
Happy Days. These happy days are yours and mine. These happy
I didn't think
days
about
are
that
yours
far
and
back.
mine. Happy
To be
days.
honest, that's a good pick.
You know, I did not put Happy Days on my list. I struggled with it because that's a show I watched as a kid in reruns constantly.
That's the only way that I watched it was
Well, of course.
reruns,
None of us were alive when that
Right.
show was running. And it's hilarious. It's a great show.
Huh. I
And
would've thought
The
you
only
had-
reason I didn't put it is because, like, I don't think it really affected my life that much. I was just, as a kid, it's a great show to watch as a kid, and that's how I watched it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I watched it a lot.
And
with
it
my
was
mom.
it spun off. I mean,
It did.
without Happy Days, you don't get Mork and Mindy because Mork
That's
appeared
true.
on Happy Days
Mork
first.
from Ork.
Without Happy Days, you don't get
Robin Williams.
You don't get a guy jumping a shark.
Yeah,
You know?
that whole
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Wasn't Charles in Charge somehow related to Happy Days?
Was it?
Couldn't be.
I don't know, but Joni loved Chachi.
Or
They
was it
did.
just that?
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Happy Days. Great show. Love it. And I've said it on the podcast before. I love, what's the dude's name that plays Fonzie?
He's gonna be at Wizard World.
He is going to be at Wizard World.
Why can't I think of his name?
Oh
It
my
starts with an H.
Henry
Henry Winkler.
Winkler. I love him. He's in everything. He's great. He's
So-
in Royal Pains. He's great. He's in a lot of shows.
Honestly, I was just excited to see him.
He's in Barry. He's amazing
Yes,
in Barry.
He is amazing in Barry. So I was just excited to see him as I like his name on the list as I was Kevin Conroy. Like I saw
Really?
him and I was like, holy.
Should we meet Henry Winkler?
I
Yes.
think so.
Yes.
Yes, we should.
I think we should.
I would
because
love to get my picture taken with him.
yeah, my mom will flip. My mom would flip.
So you guys are going 2 days?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're going Friday and Saturday.
All right, so I don't exactly know how big this thing is, but I feel like either one of the days should just be you guys waiting in lines, meeting people.
Here's the
It's
thing. If
Thursday,
you meet
Friday,
people,
Saturday, Sunday.
You eat up a lot of time because the lines are long.
Yeah.
And then there's also, so the show floor we can do in a day.
I do believe we did the majority of the show floor.
We might not do it perfectly, but we can mostly do it. That other thing though that we got to consider is there's lots of workshops and panels and stuff that we can do. So
And we do like those.
yeah, I love those
Yeah.
things. So we'll just have to balance it all. Kevin Conroy, I'm all in for that. So we'll do that.
Whether you were or you weren't, I was.
I'll leave you.
My number
in line.
5, Jerry.
is Cheers.
Cheers.
I loved the show Cheers. I loved Woody. I almost said Woody Allen.
Harrelson.
Yeah, I almost said Woody Allen again. I've always.
I really want to be able to do a Woody Allen accent because it's an easy one to do.
It's not that easy.
But every time I try and do it, it
I
doesn't
think
work
you should
out.
probably try. I mean,
I can't do it.
went for the pudding, but you said
The pudding pop.
so ridiculous. You'll do that, but you won't try.
like a pudding pop.
You won't do Woody Allen. All it is like a New Yorker accent.
I want to hear your Woody Allen.
I can't do it. That's
like
what
a
I'm saying.
hardcore
Just
Jewish
Yeah.
New Yorker.
Like, I really think that I should go outside now.
That's way better than the pudding pop thing.
I thought it was Stewie at first.
It was
Whatever.
kind of Stewie-ish.
You
Anyway.
made me do it.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson's hilarious because he's like the dumb guy. I loved the show.
dancing?
Cheers. Yeah, Ted Danson is
Kirstie
rocking. Kirstie Alley.
You know who else is going to be at Comic-Con?
Who?
Norm from
Norm.
Cheers.
He is. George Wendt.
George Wendt.
Yeah. He's going to be there too. We should meet him.
Cliff Clavin.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
Everybody loved Cliff.
Frasier. All of it.
Yeah, that stems from that.
Cheers is an amazing show.
Okay, go.
So your number...
That was my 5, your 4.
My number 4. My number 4, and we're in the top 5 now, so we're in the real deal.
Yeah.
My number 4 is News Radio.
Really?
Yeah.
News Radio with that one guy that I can't remember his name.
Phil Hartman.
But the other guy reminds me of the Mad Magazine guy.
What are you talking?
Alfred E. Newman?
Dave Foley?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Dave Foley reminds me of the Mad Magazine guy.
I absolutely loved this show when it was on. Watched it nonstop. I've watched it several times since.
Wow.
It only ran for maybe 3 seasons.
Was David Spade in that?
No, you had Dave Foley, who's a comic genius. He's from Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
You had...
I used to watch Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, you have Phil Hartman, who's a legitimate comic genius.
Yep.
You had
Saturday
Stephen
Night
Root, who
Saturday
was in
Night
it.
Live and
Andy Dick was in it. Maura Tierney, who was in it, and she's great. Joe Rogan was in it.
I don't remember that.
Joe Rogan was like the maintenance man. John Lovitz was in it. It's a great, amazing show.
Gosh, I forgot about that show. I used to watch News Radio quite often.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Yeah. That was
I like that.
That's one of my favorites. Your number 4, Alex.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers is a good
Cheers.
pick. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers for cheers.
Cheers to
Click.
the camera.
I won't lie. I just did a quick switch with my 3 and my 4.
Oh, really?
But I can remember my parents watching Cheers. I can remember sitting there watching Cheers while they watched Cheers. Couldn't tell you majority of... I know it was all about being in a bar.
Yeah.
It was.
And I loved the intro.
Yeah.
Like, I have that on my phone, and I'll probably listen to it on the way home.
Do you think that's the number one, show music listen to?
Perfect Strangers.
No. I mean, we have.
I love Perfect Strangers.
We loved
theme
Perfect
song.
Strangers. We put that
Step
in the
by Step.
podcast. Yeah. I don't know, but everybody knows
Full
your
House.
name. Come on.
No. Cheers is a great theme song.
I think it's one of the best ever.
Yeah. That's a great show. Love it.
So my number 4 was Home Improvement.
Oh.
We already discussed it. And yeah. Yeah, it's been discussed.
Binford
and we
Tools.
love it. Binford.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a deep pull.
That's not deep.
Yeah.
I forgot about it, but
Binford Tools is proud to present.
yes.
I forgot about it.
And it's funny, in Toy Story, in the first Toy Story movie,
No. Do they have
they have Binford Tools on something.
Do they really?
Awesome.
Yeah. It's a deep cut, but yeah.
That's
they
awesome.
got it. Okay, I'll go. We've talked about that, so I'll go straight to my... What are we, number 3?
Yep.
Yeah. I can't.
Cheers.
No way.
Yes.
Nice.
I love Cheers, and I do remember watching it as a kid, but it was mostly in reruns. And it's a show that you can watch as a kid or as an adult, and there's different layers. You probably don't get everything as a kid, but you probably get more as an adult. But great relationships between the characters. Hilarious, first off, just hilarious.
Yeah.
But great relationships between the characters, and there was some deep stuff in there, and it was a great show.
And I don't think it made anyone an alcoholic. No, but I
do you remember the Cliff Clavin alcoholic theory?
No, I don't.
It was it's the whole buffalo thing. You got a buffalo. Back in the day, you'd have a buffalo herd, and you'd have the Indians chasing it with the arrows or whatever.
You're killing the weaker brain cells.
And then you pick off the weak buffalo. And that's just like drinking. You're just picking off the weak brain cells.
Wow, I don't.
That's from
remember
Cheers.
That. I don't remember that.
Yep.
No, I mean, great show, amazing cast, timeless. You'll be able to watch that show in 20 years. It won't age a day.
Yep. I didn't.
Except for the payphones, maybe.
I didn't like Kirstie Alley. I liked the blonde.
Yeah.
She was
what's
nice.
her name?
She seemed nice. You know?
She was, yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Shelley
that
Long?
was my.
Was it Shelley Long?
I don't know.
Remember Rhea Perlman in that?
Yes,
yeah.
Rita Perlman was in it.
And John Ratzenberger, obviously Cliff Clavin was also Ham in Toy Story.
Yes, he went a long way after that.
Shelley Long was Diane.
Diane.
Yeah.
Okay. And your number 4?
Remember Coach?
3.
Number 3.
In the early seasons,
Alex.
Coach was one
Coach
of our
was
players.
in there, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
My number 3, Will and Grace.
Will and Grace.
Which I feel like should be really called Jack and Karen. Because, I mean, those two made that show. I mean,
this is another show that I was talking about earlier where I said they'd play like 2 episodes of Friends and 2 episodes of Will and Grace, where I grew an appreciation for that show big time after watching it in syndication for so many episodes. Just kept watching them and watching them. It's really funny.
Will and Grace is good. I think that also single-handedly, probably, Will and Grace is more responsible for the advancement of gay rights in this country
completely agree.
than any other thing.
100%.
Where's your taboo buzzer? 100%. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a fact because that's when the tides start turning.
Yeah. Is that guy, is he gay in real life?
Nope.
He's not, right?
Nope.
Which
Neither one of them.
Which one?
The
Jack?
Will or Jack. Neither one of them are gay. I don't think so.
I think he's married, right?
Let me get on my
the
phone.
Jack one. That's the only one. The really flamboyant one is what I'm talking about.
I'm pretty sure Jack is Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes.
Yeah.
Is he?
No, I don't. I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure he's not. But anyway, doesn't matter.
Okay. Did you want to talk about that at all? Because we kind of hijacked your pick.
No, keep. It's your guys' podcast, man.
Yeah, but did you? What was?
I mean, I'll comment on. I'm not actually a huge Will and Grace fan. I wasn't a huge fan of the show, but it was definitely groundbreaking for that one aspect.
Yeah,
but it was definitely not something that I watched a lot of. I did start watching the reboot when it came out, and it was god awful. It was awful.
Was it so bad?
It's still running.
It is?
Yeah, I think it actually
must not be that bad then.
I think it did pretty well, but it's really bad.
He is 100%
straight
gay.
Really?
In November 2014, Hayes announced that he married his partner of 8 years, Scott Eisnogel? Eisnogel? Okay. I don't know.
I thought it was going to be another one of your IMDb articles where it was like, I didn't.
No, that's straight from the internet. Straight from Google.
I think I was thinking of Will. I don't think Will.
No, he is not.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
anyway, number 3, Jerry.
My number 3, I'm excited to tell you this.
Okay.
Because I love it so much. Golden Girls.
Woo!
Thank you for being a friend.
So here's the deal.
Betty White.
I do absolutely love this show. My mom would like force me basically to watch this show. She watched it all the time. Because we got satellite relatively early in my life. And my mom would watch Golden Girl reruns on like the USA Network or something like that. And she watched them all the time. So I never watched this when it was running, in real time. I always watched the reruns, and she would have it on all the time. So anytime I was in the room and I wanted to watch a show, she'd have like Golden Girls on. It seemed like all the time. And I hated it. I hated watching this.
Really?
I was like, this is so dumb.
Really? Because it's a great show as a kid.
Well, but then I started actually watching the show because I just pushed it off as being something dumb. And then I started actually watching the show and laughing at it all the time and think it was hilarious. And then I found myself watching the show on my own without my mom in the room. I was like, maybe I like this show.
Yeah.
And I continued to watch it, and it's got huge nostalgia just from my childhood where I've watched it all the time, but it's also like a bit of a novelty to me because I think it's hilarious, and they sell like Golden Girls shirts. You can buy Golden Girls.
Well, it's definitely ramped up in popularity over the last several years.
Big time. But I remember watching it and them talk about, I don't know, old lady things, really, but adult things that I probably shouldn't be necessarily listening to.
It was mostly about sex.
Yeah,
that entire show.
It really was
100% about sex.
It was 100% about their sex life, and it was. It's so weird that me as a small boy watching this show,
just a little shell
just
of a boy,
little small child, listening to
Little baby Jerry.
70-year-old women talk about
Were they 70 in that show?
No. Actually, the mom in that
she
was old.
No, she wasn't. She was younger than the rest of them.
No,
when it
stop
filmed.
it.
Yeah, look it up.
I don't want to, but I'll take your word for it.
B. Arthur, I think, was the oldest one, and
Okay.
she was.
It was a really good show.
Can't remember her name now, but B. Arthur was. The
I did,
oldest
and
one
I do remember watching it at the time.
Betty
when
White
it was
in
coming
it.
out.
Betty White was Blanche. Was she Blanche?
No,
She was Rose.
Rose.
She's Rose. Blanche is the crazy one.
Yeah.
You know, the real promiscuous, the real, night owl, as I would call her.
Yeah.
The one that stepped out, that did her thing.
they wouldn't make that show today.
It would never be made today.
Nope.
And yet,
So many of these
And
80s,
yet it comes-
80s and 90s sitcoms would never be made today.
because
no, they wouldn't.
First of all, they barely make sitcoms anymore.
right. Well,
I mean,
there's
the
like
Big
a.
Bang Theory is like the only one.
I just was
Mom
reading
is
an
a
article
sitcom.
today about the renaissance of multi-camera sitcoms.
With what?
I don't know, but they were talking about how they're making a resurgence, and I
They
don't
should.
know in what shows.
There's something about multicam sitcoms that it works.
Yeah.
And I mean, single cam shows are great too, and I love them. But a multicam show, there's something about the energy of, I don't know, the live performance maybe.
It's, in my opinion, it's not even that. It's 20 minutes of concentration, if you even want to call it that you don't have to really have a vested interest in.
Yeah, it's only like punchline, like set up punchline, set up punchline. Yeah.
It pulls you in enough. It locks you in.
And there's a way that they can do that. When they do that through humor, the emotional stuff lands twice as hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It really
yeah.
does.
Can I just say I just noticed the decal on the. Have you shown that to the
I guess I
Snarf
have.
world?
I haven't. This
Because
is the back.
that's fantastic.
Can you see it?
Yeah, you got it.
It's the back of my computer.
It's amazing.
It's been there forever. I believe David Timmons bought that for me.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Yeah.
He got David Timmons. I don't know if he listens to the podcast, but he got into painting, like splatter painting, like spray painting.
Yeah, he painted Grady.
And he painted me a Boba Fett canvas painting.
Yeah, really great.
It was really super cool.
It is really cool. He did that for a while, and like I said,
It's hanging in here somewhere.
Grady was after Grady was born, he painted a canvas of him. We have it downstairs. It's really great.
Anyway, so enough about
So
that.
your number 2.
My number 2 is Frasier.
I like that show.
It is one of the best, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better than Frasier. Well, it does in my number 1.
Oh,
Right.
But
Mine
other than
too.
that,
Mine too.
Frasier is a hell of a show. As a kid, I watched it nonstop, and I was a kid, maybe a teenager when it was running, maybe a little older. I don't remember how long it ran, but it was adult. It's adult humor,
Very much
like
so.
sophisticated adult humor, and
Well, here's the catch, I think. They want it to be perceived as sophisticated. Frasier wants it to be perceived as sophisticated humor. The rest of it is not.
that's what's great about it. And he's always getting like beat down. I don't know. It's
His
a nuanced show that has a lot of layers and has a lot of humor
I should
in
say
a lot of different aspects.
Frasier and his brother want it to be much more sophisticated than what their lives actually are.
Right.
And their dad brings it down.
Yeah.
And what's her name?
Roz.
Roz brings it down. And they live in this world that is not that sophisticated.
reality.
Yeah. But they put themselves in it, and it's hilarious
And
to
it's
see
a
the dynamic.
spin-off.
And it's a complete spin-off of a show that you would never think would work.
And it's a completely different type of show.
Off of one guy coming into a bar that you see every once in a while.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It's hard to beat Frasier, man. If you haven't seen Frasier, you need to get on the bandwagon.
Yeah. I mean, you need to get yourself some tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Oh, for sure.
You know
for
what I'm
God's
saying?
sake, Styles.
Alex, number 2.
My number 2 is All in the Family.
All in
All
the
in
family.
the family. Holy
Like
smokes, that's
Archie,
a pull.
Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker.
Because I can remember
America's favorite racist.
Yeah.
He is mine.
Yeah. I mean,
Just smoking cigars and cigarettes and
Doing what he wants.
racist comments.
I can remember being very, very young and my dad watching reruns and VHSs of All in the Family, because I'm pretty sure he has the entire box set in VHS form.
That's awesome.
And,
really
exactly.
great.
That might be worth some money, actually.
Yeah, and
that's another show that'll never get on the air again.
no,
You'll never see it
and that's why I put
reruns.
it where I have it, because like I can remember being a kid and just like kind of chuckling at some things, but not fully understanding it.
Oh, definitely.
But now
I feel the same way. I watched it as a kid too. There's no way I would.
No,
understand
you're not
what
going
was
to
going
But,
understand
like,
what's going on.
the episode where Edith, like they discover Edith's the klepto.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's stealing.
She doesn't realize she's stealing things, and
I
she
forgot
is.
how funny that show
But
is.
the fact how much of a racist Archie Bunker is, and that got on air, that they made a TV show about a racist.
Yeah, but it was funny.
And it's not that I'm a racist, because I'm not, but...
I mean...
Well, that's not why it was funny,
You don't know
though.
me.
That, they didn't do it in a way
You don't
like,
know me.
listen to this racist. That's what's funny. It was like, it's funny that he was just a curmudgeon old
Yeah.
racist.
Yeah, and see,
And
that's
he was
what I
so
connect
out
to.
of times.
He was
I connect to
completely
the
out
fact
of
that
touch.
he's so just angry with everything.
Yeah.
Like, all he wants to do, he wants to come home.
What's the theme? What'd she sing on the piano? What's that song?
Thank you for being
No.
a
No,
No,
friend.
it's definitely not
No?
that.
Oh.
Because, what did they do that? I think they did it in Family Guy a couple times.
Na 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 na. Na, 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 na,
You know what they did do on Family
na,
Guy?
na, 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 na.
Is,
Those were the days. That's what it is.
why can't I think? Randy Newman.
I don't think
They
that-
sang Randy
Randy
Newman.
Oh, we're back to
Show
him.
People got
What a dick.
no reason. I completely forgot about that. No, All in the Family. All right, I'll give it to you.
My number 2?
Get it,
Frasier.
Frasier.
It's so good.
I have a feeling we're all gonna have the same number one.
Well, yeah. So that's what I
Let's
talked.
just all say it at the same time.
Wait, can I still talk about Frasier?
Yes, you can definitely. I'm just saying. Right.
Oh, okay. What was I saying? Frasier.
Frasier.
Right. Yeah, I already basically said it. I think the dynamic between all three of them, or all four of those people, is amazing. Frasier himself is hilarious. There is still a lot of heart to it. They love their jobs. Like, they love what they're doing. They love working together. I think Roz is a really good piece to that show, because she brings the reality back to Frasier and to Niles. And she, like, really loves them.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can clearly see throughout the entire show that she really loves those people, like, all of them, whether it comes to, like, Frasier, Niles, or their dad, and I can't remember his name. But then the dog.
The dog's great.
But
I also love that Frasier has this nonstop misconception that he's got his shit together.
Yes.
Well, first of all, the entire premise of the show is this guy that doesn't have his shit together is giving other people advice
On the TV show, or on his radio show. But
and it's set in Seattle, which is super cool.
I do like the dynamic, and maybe I'm reaching, but I think it's really neat that people can see a dad that is completely different than their sons.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, the dad is like, whatever, you can be weird and whine and want these fancy things. Like, let me just hang out in my chair, drink some beer, make me a sandwich.
Yeah.
Like, he's the old school dad.
Have Daphne make me a
And
sandwich.
yeah, have Daphne. Oh, I forgot about Daphne. But he's nothing like his sons, and he's absolutely okay with that.
Yeah.
And I think it was really neat to see that on TV. Not that I'm so wildly, drastically different from
No,
my
you're
dad by any
exactly
means.
like your dad. You're like a mini
That's not true.
tank.
Yeah.
Mini tank.
Anyway, that's my number 2. I love Frasier.
All right. My number 1.
Are we saying it?
Can we just do it in unison?
I picked
Yes.
Jerry's number 1 from the second I saw his shirt.
I was gonna say nobody said my
3.
shirt.
I didn't even notice it. 3, 2, 1.
Seinfeld. The Kramer.
The Kramer.
Right
his
here.
Shirt.
I have
You
that.
never noticed
No, I didn't.
that
I
it was
really
the
didn't.
Kramer the entire time?
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that was
Yes.
Really smart.
It's a video podcast now.
Yeah, that's
You have to
I said the exact same thing before I left the house to Amy. I said, "Well, we've got video cameras now. I'm gonna have to see if anybody pays attention to my shirt."
And I did not.
No, you didn't.
I just think this is an inarguable fact.
Yeah, I think
Seinfeld is the greatest sitcom of all time.
I think Seinfeld is a very polarizing show, though, to where absolutely, because the people that I've talked to about it, they've either said, "Oh, 100% greatest show ever on TV," or said, "I hate it."
How can anybody hate Seinfeld?
There are Amy hated it for a long time until I forced her to watch it because
you held their eyelids open with the mini eyebrow cranes.
Yeah, yes, the mini.
You winched them up.
I did, and we also lived basically in the upstairs. We lived in the upstairs of a house we had just bought. The very first house we ever bought, 2008. December of 2008.
So you did not occupy the first floor whatsoever?
Not at all. It was basically abandoned. We went down there just to use the kitchen, but we lived upstairs on a pull-out couch that my grandma gave me, and that's where we slept. And then I had one TV, and we just watched DVDs of Seinfeld.
You're a true American story. You know that?
That's all we watched. We had no furniture whatsoever. None.
Isn't he like Mizonian royalty?
And no, Verona.
Veronian royalty.
Yeah, get it right, please.
Sorry.
It's an impoverished
Kiss
nation,
the ring.
So.
Anyway, it is an impoverished nation. I'm no longer royalty, though, because my dad gave up the crown. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I went down.
But Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. Yeah.
No one's tapping their invisible watch to you.
Oh no. Can't now. It's on video. Oh, we haven't had dude on video yet.
I know.
Everybody's gonna see his constant like direction that we completely ignore. We're like, what is he doing?
You'll see this a lot. Like he just does this, and we'll be like, "Why are you rushing us? I don't understand it."
We're at 2 hours. But I think Seinfeld, and I got some honorable mentions too.
I do too.
I got a ton of what you're watching. I probably have half an hour of what you're watching.
We don't have time.
We might not get to that.
No, we don't.
Why?
Seinfeld is clearly the best show that's ever been on TV. If you don't understand the humor,
Ever been on TV? I don't know, but best sitcom. Yes.
isn't that what I said, or did I just say
It's
show?
the best show.
Oh well,
It's up there though.
When we did TV shows, I had it as number 3.
Okay.
So it's the third best because
why is it the best?
Oh my gosh, every character is somewhat relatable, I would say, to real life. You can I guarantee you can put somebody you know in your life to each one of those characters.
But
obviously, it's exaggerated.
Max, yeah.
Yes, it's an exaggerated thing. But seeing this dynamic of people live together in completely different worlds and the things that they get into when it's a completely normal everyday life, like they're not doing anything weird, they're not doing anything extravagant. They're literally just living their lives and things happen along the way. And I think it's a really good depiction of an exaggerated life that people can laugh at.
Yeah.
Because they know it's their own. It's just to the 10th degree.
Yeah.
You know?
Alex, why is it your number one?
Because it's a show about nothing.
Yeah. It is.
They literally made every episode different. There was only a handful of episodes that carried into, like, eventually
there's characters that carry throughout the story, throughout the lifetime. But yeah, every episode is just about life.
There's occasional callbacks, but you can literally watch an episode from season 8 and an episode from season 1, and it meshes. Like it works great.
It's so great.
I mean, the great thing about Seinfeld is if you ever see Jerry Seinfeld in any of his other shows, like Comedians in Cars,
so great. I love that show.
His movies or anything like that, that's exactly how he is.
He has not changed at anything.
Larry David
was himself.
Same way. And that's just how they are. And it definitely gives you, first of all, I thought it was cool as a kid to get like a completely different glimpse into like that world, because like the whole city aspect to it was, I always thought was really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But
we have never grown up near a city, really.
So I always thought that was cool. But obviously it was like a cartoonish show. It's just a straight up comedy. All it existed for was to be absolutely hilariously ridiculous.
Yeah. It is absolutely ridiculous.
But on a different way that like Monty Python's hilariously ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Not that ridiculous. Not outlandishly ridiculous.
Seriously, it's like on the same level, but it's different.
Yep.
You know?
I agree. I agree with you.
Have you ever seen Seinfeld when he's interviewed by Larry King about the final season and why he got canceled, according to Larry King? And Jerry loses his shit. I mean, he goes,
because
canceled.
He said canceled. They didn't cancel us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're the top show on TV right now. Why we didn't get canceled? I chose to leave.
Yep.
Right.
He's like, we wanted to stop. They didn't cancel.
We're going
us.
out on top. No one will ever do this ever.
And that's why they ended the show. Really.
Yeah.
They wanted to go on top. I've heard him say that.
And the season finale or the series finale of that show, the 2 episodes, is absolutely fantastic because it brings back everybody.
Yeah, I thought it was
of any
great.
importance in that series.
It's widely not liked, though.
That is correct.
Most people don't like the ending of Seinfeld. And it's because they feel like it was from what I've read, I like it too. I have no problem with the ending. But a lot
Nobody's
of people
gonna
have
like
said...
their favorite show ending.
What's that?
I mean, people aren't going to like their favorite show ending.
But what they've all said, it was like kind of a cop-out. It was a cheap, like, whatever, here you go. You can remember these things. They didn't put any story to it. It was more of a flashback finale than actually having a written story to end the show.
But that's what's perfect about it.
I know.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the way I think of it, too. And, gosh, I think back of so many different episodes that stand out as absolutely hilarious. And one of my favorites is where Jerry thinks he takes his clothes into like a laundromat, and there's an attendant there, and he thinks that the attendant took $20 out of his clothes, and he's trying to get it back. And in the meantime, Kramer has this whole plot to put concrete in the washing machines. So while Jerry's talking to the laundromat attendant trying to get his $20 back, Kramer's trying to put these big heavy bags of concrete in the washing machines, and he's obviously not doing a very good job and falling around, and he ends up being like covered in concrete by the end of it. And he comes back and just like leans up like,
nothing is
okay,
here,
like ready to go. He's like completely white. It's so ridiculous, but it's hilarious because they're there for a purpose. Like Jerry legitimately wants his money back, or he just wants to know where it went. And Kramer thinks, I'm going to ruin all of these man's like washing machines. There's another episode where they use blood as a coolant in a car.
Jerry's car.
Yeah.
Kramer
got
no, it was
I don't
Saab.
remember.
He drove a Saab.
He drove a Saab. Yeah.
Kramer got big into like donating blood, but he was donating it to himself and keeping it in Jerry's freezer. And then they were going to take it to a donation place, and Jerry's car starts to overheat, so they use the blood to cool it down. Like, how ridiculous is that?
Yeah, that's a perfect example of a show that didn't have really any deep moments.
None. And didn't we just talk about Friends, how they don't have any deep moments, and that's why it kind of brought it down?
Yeah.
But yet you talk about Seinfeld
that's what elevates it.
Yeah. It really is. It's so
great.
So I have the actual Kramer. Well, not the actual one, but
I do too.
The poster.
Yeah, mine's framed.
So is mine.
Yeah, it better be.
I'm no peasant.
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say, are you
a surf?
That's what I was gonna say.
But I really want
surf.
I want the Costanza, where he does
where he's like laid out.
Oh yeah.
On the armchair
boxers,
in his boxers. Yeah, I really want that.
All right, we could do some honorable mentions. Do we want to do them rapid fire?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
like each or
Sure.
I got a bunch. So, my number one honorable mention was Fresh Prince. We talked about it a lot. So I also had a Roseanne in my honorable mention, so we won't talk about that. So I got like 4 main ones.
Okay.
Coach.
Yep.
Is that one of yours too?
Yes, sir.
I love that show.
I do too.
It's just it's one that can't make my top 10, but it's one I always enjoyed watching as a kid. That's all I can really say about it. I had King of Queens.
Oh man, I never put it in there. I should have.
Another show that it just like kind of got lost in the fray, but was really good.
It was.
And Kevin James was super funny.
It's very, very funny, and so is the other Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld's dad.
Oh yeah.
Why can't I think of it?
His name
Jerry
either, but-
Stiller.
Yes.
Or that's what it is. Ben Stiller's dad.
Yeah.
In real life, but it was
Jerry's-
George. No, it was
George's
George's
dad.
dad,
Yeah,
in
that's right.
Seinfeld, and it was Ben Stiller's dad in real life, Jerry Stiller.
So I have King of Queens. I have Mad About You.
Oh my gosh, I loved that show.
Yeah, Helen Hunt and Paul Reiser.
Way
I had a
back
crush
to the
on
90s.
Helen Hunt.
That was also a must-see TV Thursday night
It
show.
was.
Loved it. I think it was on around the same time as Friends.
Wasn't Perfect Strangers a?
Oh no, that was earlier in the 90s. That was maybe a Friday. What do you call it? TGIF show.
I think it was a TGIF show. You're right.
So I loved Mad About You. And I will have to mention Newhart, which is a show I loved and adored as a kid.
So I watched the Bob Newhart show.
The first one.
Yes, but Newhart I didn't watch as much.
So
I did watch it though.
I've seen both. I watched Newhart a lot more because it was on, like in the 90s, like in the early 90s, the late 80s, early 90s. So I saw that more in reruns. The original Bob Newhart show, I think, was from like the 70s.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I used to wake up super early as a kid, like when I was young. I would wake up before everyone else. The house would be dark. There would be no sun up. I would just wake up very early, and I'd like meander around the house for a while, and then I'd turn on the TV, and that's what I would watch. I would watch Newhart, and then Wings would come on after.
Oh, well, that was another one of mine, is Wings, which as a kid, I loved Wings.
Yes.
Like, I watched it nonstop.
The guy who played Sandman in Spider-Man 3 was the mechanic.
Yeah, and he was also in Sideways.
Yes, and in Sideways. What's his name?
Thomas something.
Hayden Church.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And one more that I'll mention that I loved was Family Ties.
Oh, gosh, that is a good one. Family Ties.
With Michael J. Fox.
Yep.
Great show. Do you have any honorable mentions, Alex?
King of Queens.
Okay.
Same thing for me. Like sitting here trying to do this, all of a sudden I'm King of Queens popped up. I mean, Kevin James.
That's not one that I watched at all originally.
Yeah.
No,
Zero.
it's
Saw it all in reruns.
Yep.
I did too. It was very good.
Raymond and the Cosby Show. I mean, everybody loves Raymond. I can remember my mom watching that show all the time. Cosby Show, I was just a little late getting to it. That 70s show.
Yep.
Was
Not
actually
laugh track. No laugh track.
filmed in front of a live audience.
That's a live audience.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put that on a list because I thought it was. You're right. It was.
No, it's filmed in front of a live studio.
audience.
Yeah, that was a good show. That should probably be on a list. I didn't. I just put it out because I thought for some reason it wasn't.
Oh,
It
no.
was good until Ashton Kutcher and Topher Grace left.
Well, I didn't even
Right.
know it
That was
existed
like
after that.
Well, that was like season 7 or 8.
Right.
And
Danny
it was,
Masterson's really funny though.
He is.
Yeah, all of it's really good. Danny Masterson has been blackballed.
Why?
He's off of the ranch because he was in the Me Too. Yeah.
Oh.
I originally put this down here, but I don't think it even fits the criteria for your list. But Married with Children, I don't think it was.
Yeah. It
Oh
definitely
yeah,
was a
that was a
sitcom.
live.
Was it? Was it live?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
I should have put that up in the top 10. I think.
I wasn't a huge fan, to be honest.
Really?
I wasn't allowed to watch it. My parents would not allow me to watch it. I did sneak around and watch it when I could
Okay.
because it was like a forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
It was like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I was not allowed to watch The Simpsons.
My brother wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons, and then the big argument later. My brother's 8 years older than me, so he was out of the house, and I was watching South Park, and he was like,
God.
"Are you kidding me? You can watch South Park, and I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons."
Yeah.
I've had those arguments with my parents.
Really?
There's a 10-year difference between
But
me
I'm
and
the
my brother.
baby of the family,
Yeah.
so I can do what I want.
So yeah, I wasn't. I did watch a lot of Married with Children, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah,
so good.
I wasn't a huge fan.
But my last one, which I would put very high on my list, but I went all live studio for my list. But as far as laugh track, How I Met Your Mother.
Was there a laugh track on that show?
Yep.
Okay.
They specifically did a laugh track. They did not do the.
You know, you're right. You're right. It was
I
a laugh
should have
track.
put that in there then. Darn.
I was never a huge fan.
I like it.
That's
Was
a lot.
laugh out loud funny though?
Oh,
It was
so many
How I
parts
Met
of the
Your
show.
Money
Wow.
How I Met Your Mother was like Friends 2.0.
Yeah, kind of.
No.
It's the same basic show as Friends.
But I would put it way more out there. Like, there's way more out there things.
Yeah, for sure.
In that show.
It was edgier. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Neil Patrick Harris is a national treasure.
His book.
He really is.
The Bang Book.
He's very good.
Or whatever he called it.
B.A.
Did you ever see, what's that musical that he was in with Felicia Day and Nathan Fillion? Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
No, it's...
I think it's Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Yeah, it's something like that. Anyway, I'm going to do mine real quick. So I've got nine or 10 of them. My first one was Elf. You said Elf earlier.
Really?
I loved the show Elf.
I did love the show Elf.
Gordon Shumway was his Earth name.
Yeah.
But he ate cats all the time. I thought it was hilarious. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Definitely a kid's show.
It is. It was super fun. My brother and I talk about it all the time. Actually a lot of names that I've had on the internet have been Gordon Shumway, and they will always be that. WKRP in Cincinnati. I liked that show a lot. That's a really old show, but I used to watch it constantly.
You know, I didn't watch that show that much, but that reminds me of a show I should have probably put on there, which was Taxi.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's just
show.
like Taxi. They're all in the same vein.
Those
where
1970s kind of
they
late
all
70s
pulled from
shows.
the same stuff, and there's so many great episodes of WKRP in Cincinnati that are hilarious. You'll see it on Facebook every single year on Thanksgiving about dropping the Thanksgiving turkeys. So they do this fundraiser where they fly planes over and they drop turkeys out to everybody. But then there's a guy standing out there doing like live commentary of them dropping the turkeys, and it's just on him, and he's just talking about the horror of these turkeys slamming through cars and exploding all over the streets, and just him doing the commentary on it is absolutely hilarious. I had That 70s Show, Night Court, as a honorable mention that I feel like I should have put up a lot higher after I heard you say it. It made me want to, but I'm glad I didn't.
Show. I can't believe you've never seen Night Court.
I'm glad I didn't bow to your demands. You know, I'm glad I didn't change my own personal things for what you like.
I also think
you don't like anything I do except for Frasier and Seinfeld.
I think you could take Night Court and watch it now, and it would age very well.
I agree.
I don't feel like it would feel dated.
One of the more racy ones that I put on here would be Three's Company. I love Three's Company.
Come and knock on my door.
Oh, man.
I'll be waiting for you.
Because the kisses are hers and hers and his. Three's Company too.
We've sang that song on the podcast before.
Because we said it, because the kisses are hers and his.
Yeah.
Three's Company too.
So
that is ridiculous.
I loved Three's Company as a kid. Watched it all the time, but I don't think it was that good of a show. I think you're remembering it higher than it actually was.
You're probably right.
I think
I'm thinking of it in more of a novelty stance than
Yeah.
an actual good show. But I don't care.
I think you're thinking of it because it was in constant reruns when we were kids.
Jack Tripper is the best. And what's Frank, the guy with all the keys? It's not Frank.
No,
Mr. Hooper, Mr.
I don't remember.
You know, Don Knotts.
The guy from the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
Barney.
And then the last
Probably
one.
should be on the list too.
Oh, I have Wings as well. And then another one I have.
Yes, it was. No, but it had a laugh track.
Wait, what?
Andy Griffith Show.
Andy Griffith.
No.
It had a laugh track. Yes, it did.
I don't think so. It was much more serious. They would never laugh at it. And then the last one I have.
It definitely had a laugh track.
Was not that serious.
Do you think Aunt B wanted somebody to laugh at her? No.
Golly.
That's good. My last one was Empty Nest.
I don't even know what that is. I've never
You
heard
never
of it.
saw Empty Nest?
No.
Oh my gosh. I liked it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a really good show. Look it up.
Are you
can
sure?
watch it. Yeah, so it was about this guy that his daughter moves back in after he's retired.
Whoa, apparently it's over.
No.
Nobody will hear that. Alex. You're not supposed to react.
What just happened there is I had the audio on for our ending outro music. We could hear it on our headphones. You guys can't hear that.
I'm going to react.
Now, he reacted. We don't react because we're professional.
Oh, yeah,
Empty Nest,
sorry.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's so good. I loved it a lot. I really did. I watched. That was another Bob Newhart type show in the same time. Actually, I think it stems from one of them.
Is set in Miami and tells the day-to-day misadventures of a widowed pediatrician, Harry Weston.
Yeah.
And his two adult daughters, Barbara and Kara Weston, who have come.
And they live with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
It's pretty good, but I'm positive. Look up. Does it say anything about it being like a, what am I trying to say? A spinoff? Or is there a spinoff of the show?
No, I don't think so.
I felt like
no Laverne and Shirley. No, I Love Lucy.
No. I'm not a big I Love Lucy fan.
You know, it tops every list, and I watched a lot of I Love Lucy. I've watched most of it.
I've seen a lot of them, but
not a huge fan.
No.
Did you guys see the most recent Mimi? I don't say meme.
Oh my God. What about the Drew Carey show?
Yeah, that was a good show.
We forgot about the Drew Carey show. You just said Mimi and made me think of it.
That's weird.
That should be in the top 10.
It should.
That was an amazing show.
Yeah.
That was way ahead of its time.
Buzzbeer.
Cleveland Rocks.
Yeah.
All the little
I'm amending my list. I'm going to put in the top 5 Drew Carey show.
Well, what are you kicking out?
Nothing. I'm just going to make it a 4.5. 4.5.
I'm not kicking
folks.
anything out.
All right. We're way over time. So
yeah,
I don't think we have time for what we're watching.
Overtime for who? It's your podcast.
We can't do 3-hour podcasts.
Nope.
We just can't do it.
Nope, we can't.
I'm
sorry.
here to hijack this sumbitch.
Well, let me say this. I'll hold. I can hold mine. Do you have some what you're watching you'd like to talk about?
No, I can wait. I'll be back.
Okay,
I'll be back.
That's fine. That's fair.
Because I have some amazing what you're watching that you're going to listen to on the next week when we're going to review Batman Hush.
Preferably, let's wait until next week to review that.
I have one thing
Thursday
that I want to talk to the Prowler about.
Okay, go for it.
Gotham.
What about it?
You need to finish it.
Do I?
Yeah.
He needs to start it. He's never seen it.
Yes, I have.
No,
I saw the first 2 seasons. That's all.
It gets
out of what? 6?
5.
5. Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh,
it's
I
doable.
can do that.
But they're 20 episode seasons.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Well, they must have went down towards the end then.
They're hour episodes. They're only like 12 episode seasons. They're not big.
But I mean, like all shows that play on regular TV are like 20 to 24 episodes, and they're hour-long episodes.
I can tell you season 5.
First of all, they're 40 minutes because you don't have commercials.
Yeah, I get it.
Season 5 alone is 12 episodes. And season 5 ends it, and it's great.
Is the show over?
I do.
It's done.
Yeah, it is.
I just finished.
Over.
I've had season 5 of Gotham on my DVR since last April.
Yeah, me too.
And
I have the last 3 seasons of Gotham on my DVR.
I just recently got a new DVR.
You got to watch it because the whole stretch of
I'll pick it back up.
The Joker character.
Do you think it is on anything that I can watch it on?
Is it really the Joker though?
I mean,
it's their Joker.
It's their Joker.
It's their
They've
Joker.
said that. It's their Joker, but it's not in continuity with the movie universe.
Keep watching.
Well, that's fine.
Because where you're at, keep watching.
Okay. What else have you been watching, Alex?
I'm not. No, I have so much.
Well, get after it.
You want to? All right, I'll go over. Okay, and like I said, I have a year's worth of shows that I've watched.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's
we're
a
gonna talk about next week. Batman Hush is gonna be a big one because have you watched it?
No, I haven't yet.
So it doesn't matter. So Jerry's gonna watch that in the meantime. We're gonna talk about it. It's one of our favorite comic books, or one of my favorite.
It's kind of funny that you didn't pick up on that when I said yes. We're going to have to wait until next time to review that.
No, I didn't pick up that. It's one of my favorite comic books of all time. I think Jerry also likes it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna talk about that movie. If Alex comes back, you could watch Batman Hush too.
Yeah.
Although you don't have the DC Universe app, which I recommend everybody listening to this podcast immediately go out and get tomorrow.
Right now.
Your money is well spent. Folks.
Quit your jobs. Leave your family.
I will soon.
Get this.
I have been on what I'd like to call a DC animation
kick.
bonanza.
Really?
Yeah.
A bit of a bonanza.
And I've watched a lot. So
All right.
tune in next week for some amazing reviews. And
Yeah.
we're going to have a new topic to discuss.
We will.
Possibly top best and worst live action
Is that what
villains.
we're doing? Okay. Best and worst.
Yeah.
Live action villains.
Villain adaptations.
Okay.
I like it.
I can do that. We can do that.
I can't wait.
Yep. Thanks for coming on.
Alex,
Hey,
Yeah.
very nice to have you.
thanks for having
Absolutely.
me.
Hopefully
thank
you come
you.
back.
Where's my T-shirt?
The viewer,
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
for checking out Snarf Talk. For Snarf Talk this week, it's Chris.
I'm Jerry.
I'm Alex.
See ya.